Diana, there's no volume.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. The guy made it really sensitive to my sound here the other day, but I had like a high neck thing. So today I brought a high neck thing. Can y'all hear me? I don't hear me as well as before. Guys, hear me at home?
Yeah, we hear you. I hear
All
you
good?
fine.
All right. Oh. So I won't bother with that. We'll just do it. Okay. Okay, that's great. Thank you. So I will say what's happening, and Blas is saving our class today because I committed the big faux pas of leaving this little piece at home, but he lent me his. So time machines of all types and kinds come with a USB-A connection, which is this square one. And our Macs only take USB-C connections, which is this little guy, the roundish one. I don't know if you can anyway, that one. So here's the two different connections. You see that? So this is the old ones, so to say, and these are the new ones. So unless you have a very old Mac, you don't have this connection on a Mac anymore. So when you buy a hard drive that we're supposed to bring for class today, you need to put a little adapter that plugs from that to that. And I forgot it at home, and I was like running around like a crazy chicken, knocking on all the tech support doors and whatever, and everyone's out to lunch. And I don't even know if they have one. So I thought, oh, what am I gonna do? And then bless his heart, is lent me his so we can put this into my computer. And he said that Marta takes good notes. So Marta, you're on for notes. Because he won't be able to do it himself while I do it. But I'll just show it and then I can disconnect it and do it. But anyway, because today was Time Machine Day, remember? So just to clarify, who here has an existing time machine that they've had running and it's already running and all is good? Give me a yes at home and raise your hands here, or give me a yes from here. Okay, an existing time machine that's been running all along. Okay, so a couple of yeses, 3 yeses and 3 nos in person. And over there, you guys, no if you don't have a time machine set up and running already. And yes, if you do have one set up and running already. So let's see. I have no from Jackie, no from Jim, and yes from almost everyone else. Alan, I don't know.
Yeah, I have
You have
already.
a time machine? Okay.
Time machine
All right,
already.
so we have 5 people who said no. Of the people who said yes, you will learn how to operate the running one, and we're going to talk about that and how to use it when, what's it. But for the people who said no, so that would be Jackie, Jim, Maud, Phil, and Diana. I wasn't sure if it was Carol or Diana. Diana, Maud, and Phil. We will, okay, now the question to you 5 is, did you buy one? Did you bring one? So, bought one, didn't bring it. Maud? Well, let's see. Well, let me see how many other answers there are. Maud, didn't buy one, didn't bring one. No, the answer is no. It's okay. Diana, it's fine. Bought it and brought it. Jim and Jackie. Oh, Jackie, you switched to yes, meaning, let me be clear on the yes. Do you have it? Jim has one. Jackie, do you have it? Or was it an original yet? Like if you don't have it running, keep yourself in no. Because I need to see those people. I need to support setting it up. Okay, but your yes meant that you bought one, just like Jim. So everyone, Diane, Jim, Jackie, maybe Phil, and Maud, no, but she's a no because she didn't buy it, so that's not gonna today. Phil, how long? 15 minutes? No problem. Yeah, go get it. Cool. So we're gonna start with other conversations, and then when Phil comes back, we will. I'll work on setting you guys up, or I can help you guys. I'll wait for Phil. All right. Oh, I wonder heard he has 2 adapters. Oh, let's go catch him. Phil, do you happen to have 2 adapters? Okay, that's fine. Because if you had, oh, so you have 1 adapter? Could you bring it? Thank you. He has he'll bring an adapter. Okay, so I had to go catch Phil when he ran out. I'll tell, yeah, so give me a second, but she won't be able to fix it today anyways, in a way. So I'll explain, let people explain while I, okay, guys, I'm connecting for a second with my other computer, the one that I will do the time machine situation with. And we will connect, but I'm still connecting to Wi-Fi. Until I connect to Wi-Fi, can't do much. Here we go. It's connected. I believe it's connected. Keep saying it's connected, but it's not. Disconnected. Okay, let's try resume again. All right, so then Phil ran to his house to bring it, and he'll be 15 minutes, and that's fine because we have many other things to start with as we work on the time machine. Now, how are we doing with file organization and getting things ready for your computer? One thing I want you to understand, it's not important if you, oh, my computer's not organized yet, I can't back it up. No, it's the other way around. It's a good thing to back it up now, because then anything you do that's wrong or messes up, you'll still be able to go back and get it. So don't worry about cleaning it up first before I set up the time machine. You know what I mean? That's just not an issue. Julie, yes, your hand is up.
Yes, since I signed in about 11 after 1, maybe you covered this. I got an email from you at 11 o'clock this morning with the link for 2024. I don't know if it's my Mac computer screwing up.
At 11 a.m., I sent an email welcoming people to Mac Level 2.
Yep,
Does it say 2024?
yep. Let me see.
So, but let me see. You clicked on the link and it takes you to Mac.
Welcome to our
Email
Max,
say.
Mac OS X Level 2 class, starting Monday, Wednesday until November 3rd, starting first class September 24th. So
Okay.
I don't know why I got
Okay,
that.
so that was me. I was in a hurry.
I
and
got
I
your
copy
earlier
pasted the
link. You
email.
know, I got the normal one that comes really early.
Yeah, so on Wednesday, next 2 days from now, it's the first day of Mac Level 2. And that was my welcome to Mac Level 2.
Yeah,
But if I says Wednesday, September 24, November. Yeah, so sorry, I'll have to fix that.
yeah, okay.
I copy the same email always and then I paste it and then I change things like dates, but it looks like I didn't change it. I added the old one to the new one. So
You know, my computer is acting weirdly, so I thought, well, it's just mine resending things, but I noticed the dates wrong.
no, it's me, and that's a biggie. So I need to correct that. And also, I hope people understand that not to click that link today. Today's link is the same link. Today's Mac Level 1. It's just that I used to. The
Yeah,
school doesn't let us download the roster. It's a weird that we can't download rosters anymore, which is a bizarre thing, but we can't download rosters anymore. So I have to ask Emma. So I couldn't send you that email this weekend. I had to wait until Emma came in this morning to download the rosters for Mac Level 2. And then I sent it to you at the same day that I'm sending you the reminder for Mac Level 1. So it's a little bit confusing, but anyway.
so the
here's
dates will have to change. It
date.
wasn't September 24th. Yeah.
Yeah, so 887-172. I'm trying to get in here to my information. And yeah, I don't. Okay, so you guys are the people. So let me just show you this email that I sent. Welcome to Mac Level 2. Okay, say this one.
It came to my
Yolanda
inbox.
also mentioned the confusion with the dates and times. Look at that. So here's the thing. This email says, welcome to, look for our first class on Wednesday, September 2. Our class will run from Wednesday until November 33rd. So this is the mistake, okay? So I'm going to, I can't reply all, can I, even though I sent it? No, I can't. I have to resend it to everyone. Give me a second because I don't want, my concern would be that people would try right now to
Right,
to go to that link. And
Yeah.
no, this information is for Wednesday. So let me grab all this, copy, and send a new one. And this is kind of part of the next class. I'm BCCing everyone.
but the dates, you have to change the dates, Deanna, because that first sentence says Wednesday, September
I
24th.
know. That's what I'm
Oh,
writing
okay.
right now.
Okay, cool.
October, when will it be? Today's 13th, 15th. Our
October 15th it'll be. Yeah.
I was in a real hurry today when I sent that. So I'm sorry. Jesus, I have things in the way in front of me. Here, or to today's last Mac level 1 class, please use the old, it's not an old link, I sent this morning at 6 a.m. just in case there's any question. There we go. All right, so hopefully that takes care of that. All right, thanks you guys for the warning that I made a mistake. I have to, whenever, the problem of these template letters where each time, this one I changed it. This one I changed to say, you guys, most of you, I've noticed there's no new names in the class. So instead of doing the whole stepped in beginning, well, some people come at the beginning, I just said everyone come in normal. But that depends on each class, right? And so I change it and I adapt the dates and then oof, and I change the tech support times always change. And then I just send it without like rereading the whole thing. So I apologize for that. Okay.
Are we doing the mail app next?
Next class,
Okay,
next week.
good.
So we can even start on Wednesday with that. Yeah, it's
Okay,
sometimes the
because I have
most.
a question on that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to click on this computer to let me in on this computer. So give me a second.
Recording in progress.
All right, so now I'm here with this other computer. All right, so the work we've been doing to organize files, I sent you to a new way of seeing files that was related to being in it was related to being in the general storage from the settings where you could see big files, old files that are not valid anymore, things like that. Did anyone use that again? Was it of any use other than that first access to it that we did in class? Let me clear your answers. When we start on the time machine, I will get, again, a little raised hand on all the people that I need to support to get their time machine started. But for now, I'm cleaning your answers. Okay, so if you have any questions left about organizing, this is the perfect time to say, I tried this, it worked. I tried this, it didn't work. I'm still not sure about what did I need to do to take the stuff off my desktop. Can you remind me about A or B or C, like shortcuts or aliases or anything. Yeah, mod. Okay. All right, so that's fine. So it's one thing, it's one thing to explain if you have watched the recordings and one thing if you haven't. Did you watch the recording? Okay, so then I'm gonna let you watch the recording because otherwise I have to explain it from scratch. Once you watch the recording, then we'll talk about that. Yes, Diane? Okay, anyone else who can't find my recordings? First of all, I want to remind everyone that and I'm gonna share my screens for a second here. If you go to your email and search anything from me, right? If you go from Diana Masaki or whatever, you should be able to see all of the emails that I have sent, which in my case, I send so many emails that it does, myself. But if you do that, you should be able to find my emails if you don't delete them. If you have deleted them, then know that the second day of class of every one of my classes, I sent an email with a lot of links and things like that. But even today's link, welcome. So link for Mac, where's today? 6 a.m. Here we go. Zoom in, link, today's Mac level 1. So you all get my emails, right? So it says, if you're in there's a link. And then it says, if you can't make it, please. And then it says, please use this link to view a video that shows you how to access the class recordings. Twice a week, I send you this email. I don't mind showing you how to do it once again, but I question whether have you watched that recording and is it still not useful? That's the point. Or not, like it's not good enough and you still need help. Yeah. You wrote down the steps and you still didn't make it in. Okay, so there you go. Let's see what's happening. First of all, I'm going to demo it here and you follow along. Okay, because that's my main concern, that you guys aren't getting the information. So I want to show everyone that if you ever forget, because maybe you're someone who never misses class. So the day you miss it, oh, how was it that I had to access them? So I'm sending this now on every single email. Right under the link of the day, you have a video there. Okay, so midweek when you want to, you get it. Now, if, as I always say, if that doesn't work, sometimes that's not enough, then of course, and I'm not going to do it on this computer. In fact, I'm going to stop the share because this one's signed in. I'm going to go to this computer that's not signed in, so I'll show you the entire process. So let me share from this computer how to get to the class handouts and recordings. You open any browser. I'm going to open Safari. And you're going to go to my.sbcc.edu. So this one, let me see, my.sbcc.edu. Okay. And you head over here and you have to get into your pipeline account. Okay. So you enter your password and you log in. People like me, we have a, oh no, today I already did the 2-factor authentication. Okay. So once you get here, you have on the left side, you look for the word Gmail. Are you trying to follow along, Maud? I'll go a little bit slower. You found Gmail. Okay. And I thought you were going to follow along too, Diana. Yeah, but first you have to get here to go to student resource. Okay. So the best, there's some people don't, and it's been like 1 out of every 40 students. So it's very few. They don't see the Gmail link here. So then plan B is to go to the student resources. But the easiest way is to just go to Gmail. Well, it's fine. Go to student resources menu. There it is. It's a little bit lower on the list. That's another way. Click on student resources menu and then go to is it essential resources? Yes. Okay. Got it. Essential resources. And then Google Drive. Okay. It's 2 steps instead of the other way would have been 1 step, but it doesn't matter. Well, that's fine. This is good. It's just that since everyone can get in this way and 1 out of 40 can't get in the other way, I have to give the most general description to everyone. So Gmail is 1 step less. This is 2 steps more. It's like between, it either do Gmail Drive or you do Essential Student Resource, Essential Researchers Drive. So it's like 1 extra click, almost no difference. So no big deal. Stay with the one that you've got written down. Okay, but instead of writing it down, why aren't you doing it? Because then I can help you. Okay, then when you get here, you look for shared drives. And then in shared drives, you would see Mac Intro level 1 or 2. And then there it is, Zoom class recording links. Okay, Mac OS level 1 or 2. And you could be seeing it this way, or you can be seeing it this way, either way. The top one. And as of next Wednesday, we'll have the third one. We'll have one which is Mac OS level 2. So we go up to Mac OS level 1. And here we are. The only one missing is today's. Okay? Because we're not there yet. Oh. Why does it duplicate? That's interesting. This doesn't need to be there. Okay. I'll deal with why this is showing up twice. But anyway, so here we go. The only difference back to what let me go back for a second to what the instructions I gave is that if you can see the word Gmail here, which is most of you, if you click on Gmail, so this is not to confuse people, if you click on Gmail, then on top of that, you get to see your Gmail. Some people don't know how to get to your Gmail. Then you would get to your drive by going to this little icon and clicking on drive right there. So that's one way that I've showed most people, or the way that I've shown in other instructions is, yes. Let me see. Let me see. But it's not what I need. Okay, no, I need the adapter. I need from this to there, unless I put that one in. No, because that's not. Yeah, there's a student who went home for one who lives nearby. He lent me his. It's this piece that I need. And yeah, but it's his, and so he can't do the job. I'm going to demo this. But so if we have one, that would be good. But if not, probably I left it sitting. I have 8,500 at home, and I left it on my desk. Yeah. Oh, Phil's back. Phil's back, and he's the one who brought one because he went home. Let's see. Thank you. So I don't need it now, but yes. It's the time.
It's the same.
Yeah. Let me give. Yeah, they're cheap. You buy them by packages, but you need to have them. Is that the thing? They're really cheap, but you need to have them or you're basically useless. Then you don't have them. I was like, perchance, is there anyone there? But thank you, Phil. All right, guys. So Phil came back with one. So Blas has his back. So we're all set. Yay to go on that. So anyway, just hopefully that worked for getting the class files. Yes, Angelina.
Yeah, hi. I am not on the Mac shared file. I have the Adobe Illustrator. You shared that file with me, but I don't have the Mac one.
Well, you're in the roster, so that's bizarre. But what I can do is I can go and put your name in individually.
Thank you. And I have a time machine, and I realized that I don't have the right adapter. So I think I'm gonna go over to Best Buy real
Okay,
quick.
so give
Run the
me your
break.
username.
AM Valenzuela.
AM.
Yeah,
Here it is.
AM Valenzuela.
Venezuela. And viewer, and there you go. So the fact that you're not getting one, that I don't know why. Some people, no matter what, just it doesn't connect. And the only one who can fix that is tech support. And then they say, oh, put them in individually, which is fine. I can do that after the fact. But then every time you take a class, you'll find that you're not. So there's something they need to fix in the back that's not letting you access the shared drives. The shared drives is where a lot of teachers put their stuff. But that said, now I just put you individually. So hopefully it popped in. Did it pop in now? Well, whenever you go to
I'll
it.
I'll check my drive. Yeah, I'll check.
Okay, great. All right, wonderful. So as Blas said, for the sake of this little thing, it's really cheap, but it, you know, like everything, if you're stranded in the ocean, it's probably cheap to get a raft for the boat, but if you don't have one, you die. This is the same, right? A lifesaver. It's like that little tiny adapter doesn't let us get in. So if you buy a personal, an external hard drive, portable, or that's why the personal portable hard drive or external hard drive, don't forget to buy an adapter, okay? Because they do not come, that I know of, any that I've seen, they do not come with a USB C connection. They come with a USB-A. Ooh, this is a nice one. Can I see yours? Because it's a bit different. Can I? So, yeah. So a few, if you buy how many mega, what's that? It's 1 terabyte. So I'm just showing you this one that here's the look at the size of mine, right? And this is considered tiny. It used to be you needed big blocks on your desktop, and this is a 1 terabyte. And look at the size of Phil's. Okay, for the same thing. Now this, I believe, is probably one of the ones that was a little bit more expensive. Hi, Suzanne. Come on. That's probably a different thing, but thank you. Let me see, because everyone was, that is not what I need, but that's okay, because he went home and brought me one. But Sarah was just here, and what I needed was this adapter, but he brought one from home. But Sarah's going to look into getting some.
Okay.
But thank you. This is great, but because I need to connect that to this, and so that needs to connect.
What is
in
that?
that.
What is this?
This is a portable hard drive.
No,
This
but I
is
mean,
it's
what's
an
the-
adapter, male to female,
Oh,
USB-C,
you need the
USB
that
to
adapter.
USB-C.
Gotcha. No,
Yeah.
we don't have any of those. Sorry.
But this is this an extra one that I can have here to use for charging, or is it one that's needed? If you need it,
Need it.
because then I can charge the other devices that arrive, like
Yeah.
this one that I use for
We'll
class,
just
which
put
I don't
funds
otherwise.
over.
Well, like, it would be good to have one
No, when
for the
class
Mac.
end of it,
Okay,
whenever your class ends at the end of this.
even though then I start again
Oh,
in
yeah,
the next
we could-
semester. So it's kind of like
And then Art was gonna change the arm.
the arm, yeah, I told him about that because of that. But thank you. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, everyone, for trying so hard. So I put, before class started, I put the alarm out on tech support, help, I need this. So everyone's slowly coming in with the right things. It's not the right thing I needed, but it's still things that are needed. Okay, otherwise I bring them from home and then I forget them. And it's like, you have a school one, give me the school one, thank you. All right, so this here is a very slim, very nice one. And it already comes with a USB-C, and then both of the cable tips are USB-C. So you go straight from it to the computer. So you don't need an adapter, but you need a cable that's 2 tips. And did this come with a cable? Usually these things don't. This one came with a cable. Sometimes you buy these things and they come or not with a cable. It depends. Okay. So this is what, like if you have a newer iPhone, newer than, I think as of iPhone 13, they changed to the, when did they change to this? My 15 has this. Anyone have a 14 or a 13? And what kind of, let me look at the bottom of yours. It's, yeah, it's this one. Oh, am I wrong?
No, it's not, it's one of the smooth ones. It doesn't have a hole. It's
It's
just,
one of the old ones. Okay, so then it's as of iPhone 15 only that it started. If you have a 15, a 16 or 17, then iPhones come with this connection now. Okay, but in this case, this one's ready to go because it doesn't need an adapter. So depending on what you bought, but if you buy anything, so this is one of the slightly higher level priced ones that is like portable, that it's so tiny. Anyway, because if you pay more, you get that. If you pay less, you get this. If you need to travel, you get that. If you need to stay at home, you get this, and it's cheaper. But it's how much nicer is it to move around with that than with this, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and Angelina, is that a new question or not? No, you're done, so I'll clean. Okay, so now let's spend a minute with some handouts, and since I had already signed in to the handouts over here, I'm going to go to the handouts over here and do it with this computer, which today is my new laptop. It's not my old 2812 because this one has been having the time machine running versus that one. Since I've been leaving it here, I haven't had it time machine running. So I'm demoing on this one today. But I wanted to show you, hold on, the one setting. I think I do a great job of labeling my handouts, and then when I go look for them. Backups, whiteboard. That's what it's called, whiteboard. And there's two different ones. I go with this one. Let me see what the first one has. Okay, it's both of them are necessary. So let me let Diane come in and let me share this screen first. And I will make it bigger. Hold on, I need to get you guys out of the way here. I don't need you on this computer, so I can make it bigger. So it's okay. So there's two sets of two things I need to show you. Here's one of them, and let me make it bigger over here as well, so it fills your screen. And there we go. So now I'm going to pop this open so I see all of you guys. Okay, I got everyone and everything as big as I can. All right. It might still be a little bit hard to read the letter. Is it hard to read? Is it from there? Too small-ish? Okay. All right. So first of all, I'm going to, well, this is what it's not. I'm like, let me go to what it is. This is what why the backup, why the iCloud is not a backup. Let me instead go to the one of what is the backup. Here we go. Okay. So, Maud, any questions in particular or? Okay, not just, so is it me or is it getting warm? Saying about the same thing? Let's hang out. Let's not do anything. It feels like it's getting warm. Okay. So what we have here is the first, why did I say Mac level 2 backup those files? That's not Mac level 2, that's Mac level 1 at the end. How funny. Okay, never mind. But first we organized our files and no one seems to have had any questions about that. My main question was, for those of you who were just organizing their stuff, that's good. If you're stuck anywhere, please ask me. And if not, and I'll give you another chance at the end of today, please ask me again if you're stuck anywhere. But also, for those of you who really wanted to put stuff on their desktop, I showed you three alternatives: on the sidebar of the Finder window, on the desktop with an alias, or on the dock. So if all of those three options you don't need to use all three options. You need to use one that works for you, right? So if what you were desperate to not lose is access on the desktop to your stuff, then put the alias. If you're encouraged to find two other options and they work, that's fine. But just try to learn one. Don't feel like, oh, I need to learn all these three, so I'll learn none, right? So it's best to just know one. And for people who really, really have become accustomed to stuff on their desktop, the alias on the desktop is a good idea. So my real request is, if for any reason that didn't work or you didn't get it or not sure, not if you didn't watch the video, but anyone who was here in class who tried it, if it didn't work, please let me know, write to me in the chat, and I will make time at the end of class to review that process, because that's really important to me, that you know how to get to your stuff, okay? And not to have the solution be, oh, well, I'll just keep all my stuff. My desk, it's all the same. She doesn't know anyway, or something like that. That's not, I'll keep doing what I've always done. It's worked for me. Don't do that. Just learn the right way, you know? It's fine. I mean, come on, I'm a student too in classes. I'm like, it's just, let's learn it the right way. So, but now today we're going to first focus on backups before we do anything else. And the whole point of this is that, especially while you're organizing stuff and throwing away stuff, that you have a way to not lose any of that material. So, when you have those of you who have your desktop and documents in the cloud, okay, which is at this point, I know Josie doesn't. Who doesn't yet have them in the cloud? I think Josie didn't. I know Julie doesn't. There's a few of you guys who don't have them in the cloud. Who else does not have their desktop and documents in the cloud? Can you give me raise your hands at home? Sue has them you had your stuff in the cloud? You didn't? Okay, bad memory. Josie doesn't, and Marta, were you, I think your stuff was in the cloud, right? Yeah.
Yes, my stuff's in the cloud.
Okay, so at this point, it's just Julie and Sue. I thought there was one more person. And Josie. Josie, who is online today instead of here in person. I think she also has her stuff, yeah, not in the cloud. Okay, the Ustream. So you three have to, for sure, have a very good, powerfully working time machine, because it's the only way to save any of your computers. Files, documents, setup, applications, everything. And that's the thing, that a time machine is going to make a copy of everything that's in your computer, not just your files, but everything, the whole setup, the entire shebang is going to be backed up onto your hard drive once you set it up. Thus, for those of you whose stuff is on your computer, that's what's going to save you if anything happens. So if your computer dies, what I mean is everything happens. If your computer dies, then you basically have to, if you have to take it into a store to be fixed, they're going to say, did you make a backup? Like they're always, have you ever had to take anything in to be fixed? The first thing they say, your phone, your computer, they say, did you make a backup? Like they really want to make sure you make a backup. And this is it, because they can't promise that when they're fixing it, they might not mess up your stuff, right? And, or if your computer dies, and, or if your computer has to be fixed, or if you buy a new computer. For any of those reasons, when you get the new computer, when you open up a new computer, or when they fix it and you have to reinstall everything, it says, do you want to install from the time machine? Like one of the options are, do you want to install from the cloud? Do you want to install from a time machine? Do you want to install from where do you want to install? If you reinstall from a time machine, it all pours back in. Now, of course, that would be if the reason that your computer died was because there was a virus in it. You wouldn't want to reinstall the virus, but then you could back up to the week it was still working. Like last month, it was working just fine. And then I've had a month of all this stuff. So that maybe you just lose 1 month worth of stuff if that's the worst case scenario. Does that make sense, you guys? Well, that's the thing. If your computer dies from one day to the next, you wouldn't know. Viruses don't usually, and I might be wrong about this, they don't usually kill your computer outright. What they do, and there are some that might just blast your computer. For the most part, what they'll do is things will start being wonky and working wrong and doing weird stuff. So you'll probably take it in to get someone to fix it, and then you'll know. Usually a virus can be fixed. It won't kill your computer. But what might happen is that your computer had the motherboard wasn't working. Like it's a physical thing, and then when it gets fixed, you still need to reinstall everything. In which case, it's fine to reinstall from the time machine. Yes. In a great question. So Diana is asking, Diane or Diana? Yeah, Diane is there. Diana is here. Sorry, I have to. She's asking if your computer has a virus and you've been backing it up to the time machine. Will your time machine pick up the virus? It's not that. Yeah. So the time machine is just going to copy everything that's on your computer. A virus is going to be in software. So if I'm copying everything onto my computer, it's not like my hard drive won't die. But one of my files that I copy is the virus software. Does that make sense? Now, here's the thing. And I might be wrong, but I would like to see what people say, everyone at home or here, whoever has had a virus on their Mac. If this was a PC class, almost everyone would have raised their hands, right? And now he's like, no, because he knows how to protect from them. But it is very hard because there are so many, and it's not because the PC or the Mac is better. So I'm not trying to make that statement. There's like bazillion of computers out there in the world, and they're all Windows computers, and there's a billion that are Mac. So people who are intent on bringing down big companies, world governments, all that kind of stuff, they make viruses for Windows computers, right? It's not that we're so much better, but we're just not targeted that much. We're not, Macs aren't in charge of organizations, and they are very targeted to individuals, to certain professions, design, art, film, but it's not just about everywhere else in the world. The computer runs off of Windows computers. And so we just don't get targeted, which is really good. If you're going to hack the Pentagon, they might have a couple of people in there that have Macs, but the system runs off of Windows servers or whatever servers they have. Does that make sense? So yes, haha, we don't get that many viruses, but in part is because, we're kind of more immune. Not that we might be more immune to them or not. I don't know that side of it, but I do know that it's harder. It's not as worthwhile for hackers to target us. Yeah. If your computer is running Windows software, it will be a target like any other computer. Because they exploit the vulnerabilities in the Windows operating system versus the Mac operating system. When you run Windows on your Mac, which is possible, you would get targeted. Yeah. So, given that this is a tiny sampling and no one raised your hands, that's not, I think I've heard one student once had an issue that they supposedly had isolated it to some kind of a virus. So I have to admit, it's not a thing. It is a thing, but it's not really a thing. Anyway, so it's more like hacking, spam, people who've targeted you on a different level, but not the internal body of your computer. So that's a great question. Do we suggest paying for malware? Definitely not the typical Norton, all that stuff that they say, oh, it works for Mac PC. They're just for Windows. They don't really do much on a Mac. There are a couple, like someone brought in, I think Josie, you brought in, or no, Gigi, the Malwarebytes question. Was it Gigi? Some of you have something called Malwarebytes. That's not bad for the Mac. It doesn't hurt every now and then to have something. I'm not saying that it's impossible to get it. And the thing is that if you do get certain things, it wouldn't be like computer dying things. And Malwarebytes might be able to pick up on some of that. I've had it running. It never picked up on anything. But then again, I'm very careful because in my email, I don't open on junk mail and I don't open stuff. So I'm not sure how effective it is, but I've heard that if at all, that one's not bad. What? Yeah. Malwarebytes is the name of it. Yeah. So, but you're saying you're saying it as if bad or good?
I think it's bad.
And is this a tech person? Okay, I've conflicting information about whether to have malware virus on a Mac. They tend to slow down a computer and fill it with stuff where they're trying to protect you. And the question is, do we really need that much protection on a Mac? But if you don't have a protection and something happens, then oh, you wish you'd had it, right? So it's on a PC. There's no question you got to put in a virus protection kind of software, but it's harder for me to give you a straight answer on that because I read up on it and sometimes they go yeah and sometimes they go no, and who's paying who to say what. So I don't have a best answer for that for you. Yeah, Apple guys don't want you to put anything because they're like, our computers don't need anything. Well, it depends on what you had. Malwarebytes is one. It's not, there's many. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it'll come in through your email and from downloading applications. So you need to be careful where you download from and what you open in your email. So that's where you'll have, and texts now, if you open them in your text. So that's where you'll get the malware. We're going to talk, this conversation always leads to this. So I'm not saying that this isn't the time, but I want to first get the time machine set up because it needs to run for a while. And then we'll keep going with this conversation. So hold on to those answers. Don't feel like I haven't answered you. I just want to get this time machine set up for the people who brought them so that we can get it processing so that we have time to demo, and then it needs to process. Well, then we keep talking. Okay. So, so there's a couple of different backup types, and up until now, I've told you a little bit about it, but I've always kept saying, I'll talk to you the last day. So here we are, it's the last day. And the typical backup that you might have had on a PC, here, let me make this bigger and work on this side so that you guys here can see it better, is the mirror backup. A mirror backup is a kind of backup that is very valid, and I'll tell you where I do use that kind of backup. And it's something that copies everything exactly. So if you have 10 files on your computer, the mirror backup have 10 files on your computer. If you delete 3, the mirror backup deletes 3. If you add 4, the mirror backup adds 4. So it basically mirrors your computer, the name, right? Which is many times perfect if what you want to prevent is if your computer dies, a mirror backup does the job. Does that make sense? Because it'll have exactly what you had on your computer and you can use that. So where I have a mirror backup is for things like, and listen everyone, sometimes, has anyone had the situation where you run out of, let me just stop share for a second, where you run out of space at home and you need to, how many people build a new bedroom, but so build a new bedroom, or you buy some storage, or you put in a shed in your yard, or whatever, you create, you need more space. If your computer doesn't have enough space for your stuff and you can't get rid of the stuff because it's all necessary stuff, then you need to build some storage of some kind. You need to find a way to put your files somewhere else because your computer doesn't have a big enough hard drive. And so when you bought your hard drives at the beginning, when we all went and checked how big our hard drives were, many times if you have one of those MacBook Airs that have like 125 gigabytes or even 250, many times those fill up really quickly because just the operating system and the applications take up a lot of that, and then there's not much space in there left for your stuff. Does that make sense? Some of you might be in that situation, but plan B, next time you buy, you might say, well, I'm going to pay more to have my hard drive, my internal hard drive to be bigger. But the thought of Mac people and the thought of a lot of people who buy these computers is that, well, my stuff can just be in the cloud. Because the way the world works right now, I'm saying kids, right? Kids, I mean, 30 and younger people are in the work world. Their stuff is all in the cloud. They don't cart their stuff around on their computers. They've gotten accustomed to that starting at school, where they've been working on all these Google Classroom and iPads, where all the stuff was all on the cloud. So in fact, a lot of kids don't know how to even handle files and stuff on their computers because they don't have them on their computers. They've been on the cloud from the beginning, and the world is going in that direction where everything is in the cloud. I mean, it's been going in that direction for a long time. So it's fine for someone to buy a laptop with very little internal storage because they'll connect in a cafe to their stuff that's on the cloud. They'll connect at home. They'll connect at school. But take that word. They need to connect to Wi-Fi to get their stuff because their stuff is on the cloud. It's not in their computer. Does that make sense? So what if they go camping with their laptop? Well, forget it. Your stuff is not on your laptop and you can't connect to Wi-Fi when you're camping, right? Plan B, you have your phone, and if there's still data, then you can get to your stuff from your phone. But anyway, that is why many people can still buy a very powerful computer with a small internal hard drive and still be able to keep working on their stuff. But if you have a lot of your stuff on your computer and you want to keep more stuff on your computer, you might need to buy one of these, but not to act as a time machine. You buy the same thing, it's the same product, but you have it as that extra storage space. You buy a hard drive to hold maybe all your photos, for example, if you're someone who has a lot of photography or videos or something like that, right? That hard drive is a separate entity. It won't have stuff from your computer. It'll have extra stuff. Does that make sense, you guys? Let's say that I put all my photos, my photos library file, that one that we already saw was like 30 gigs or something like that. That one can go on a different hard drive. That frees up your computer. But then it's on its own in this little hard drive that can die. Because hard drives die like anything, you know, cars, hard drives, laptops, they die. Things happen to them. In this case, if all my photos are here, they're not in my phone, my computer, what I want to do is I would want to buy another one and mirror backup. It's called cloning them, right? So if I have all my photos in here, I at least have them also in here. And I never use the second one. I just use this one, and that one mirrors it. Does that make sense, you guys? So mirror backups are really useful. And I do have external hard drives with stuff that's not on my computer. And I have mirror cloned hard drives backing them up. Because if one dies, and that happens a lot, these little guys die more than a computer might die. And I won't lose all my photos. Does that make sense? Because when you look for it, first of all, many times it starts clicking. You can hear it clicking. That's danger zone. It's about to die. But other than clicking, sometimes you just plug it in one day and it just doesn't work anymore and it's dead. So good thing you had two of them. You go and buy another one and you back it up again. So that's the mirror backup. That's different than what I'm talking about by the time machine. Many of you guys won't need it because your stuff is fine in your computer and you don't have extra stuff. But I'm explaining that mirror backups are a good thing. That's just not what the time machine is. Okay? Yes, Diane? Trying to find out how to unmute yourself?
Yeah,
There
I
we go.
remember.
Okay.
What about photo sticks?
Photo sticks are just a brand name of a type of backup they just call them photo sticks, and it just has your photos. If it has your photos, they can still die. You better have them backed up to another photo stick. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Photo
okay.
sticks, anything anything that's technical can die, right? So if all your photos they're just smaller, but they're called a photo stick. It's a brand name and it has your photos. What happens if that dies and all your photos are in there?
How about if it's backed up by the iCloud in a backup time
Okay.
machine?
So we're gonna talk, so we're gonna talk about the iCloud now and time machine. But I'm just saying, a photo stick is just a brand name of one of these. It's a different, they're calling it a photo stick. It'll save all your photos. It's an external hard drive that saves your photos. It's just of a different type. It's a different brand. You know what I mean? Targeted to save your photos. Well, yeah, it's basically storage outside of your computer where photos can go because your computer doesn't have space. So it's exactly the same thing that we're talking about, but it's of they gave it a certain brand name, but it's the same thing and it can die. That said, I have had some flash drives for 15 years and they're fine, and I have other flash drives that died within a year. You just don't know, lemons versus you don't know. So
Thank you.
yeah, but the question here, since we're mentioning photos, is does an iCloud keep your photos? Well, not for everyone. That just like some people here don't have their desktop and files in the documents, some people don't have their photos in the cloud. So that happens. That said, you could have the photos that are in this hard drive in the cloud, but that's the photos class, which comes after Mac level 2. So can't answer everything at once. No, but it's meaning it's a good point. Your photos, and now I'm going to talk about that. So then what's the point of the cloud? Like, so if I need all of this, so remember the explanation I just gave you of mirror backups is for the situation that not many of you guys are in, which is you have so much stuff that it doesn't fit in your computer, that you have already an external hard drive dedicated to stuff that's not in your computer. If so, when you connect the Time Machine to your computer, it's only going to copy what's in your computer. It's not going to copy what's on this external one. So to save that, you need to have another hard drive to that one. That's all I'm saying. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe? Because the Time Machine will only copy what's on your computer. And if it's on your computer, it's on its own, left to the wolves. So you need a mirror backup for that one. So that's that. Okay. Now, let's come back into what's on our computer. Okay. Now, from what's on our computer, we have, so what's on our computer, we have, let me head over here. Well, let me not head over here. Let me first head over to the other handout, the one that I had first, which is this one. So this one I'm going to go through fast because this is basically the same. We've had this conversation quite a few times now, which is basically that. Oh, sorry. Share again. Here we go. Thank you. So here's the, here's your computer. Here's your phone. And this is the cloud right now, as opposed to I usually put the cloud on top. So if you have stuff on your computer and you did connect cloud, desktop, and documents, that's going to the cloud. Phone to the cloud, everything in the cloud. If I delete something from my computer, it also deletes in the cloud. If I delete it from my phone, it also deletes in the cloud. So it's kind of a mirror backup in that if my computer dies, my stuff in the cloud is still there. And when I buy another computer, I can just say restore from the iCloud, and all the stuff that's in the cloud comes back into my computer, right? Well, yes, but. And the but is, how about all those applications that are not part of the cloud? Photoshop, Excel, Word. You'll have to reinstall all of that. Does that make sense? Because the cloud will have your files, which is the most important. So it's good. It has your files. If you put your photos in the cloud, it has your photos. If you have your desktop and documents, they're in the cloud. You didn't lose them. So it's really good, but it doesn't have the system files, the application files, versus the Time Machine will have those too. Does that make sense? So it's really good, don't get me wrong, that none of your files will die, but unless it's Apple applications that are backed up in the cloud, then everything else you might have installed on your computer won't be there. Many of you guys haven't installed anything. Haven't installed Photoshop, haven't installed Excel, Word, Mac, haven't installed genealogy hardware. There's all these things that people use independently. If you don't have any of that, if you just use what came with the computer and you go to the cloud, then downloading your stuff from the cloud is kind of good enough. You know what I mean? As long as you put your photos and your desktop and documents in the cloud, and get me, as long as you learn not to save anything in your downloads folder, because the downloads folder will die with the computer. It doesn't go into the cloud. Remember that? The downloads folder lives in your computer. So if you're the kind of person who everything is downloaded, stays in the downloads folder, and your computer dies, it goes with the computer if you don't have a Time Machine, because the downloads is not in the cloud. Got it? So basically anything that's not in the cloud will not be there if you install from the cloud. Got it? But if you're good, if you do good hygiene of cleaning out your downloads a lot, which is what I was trying to teach you here, just kind of let it transition. It comes into your computer. Where does it go? It goes here, it goes there. You only have temporary things that don't matter, then you're fine. But if you've installed any other kind of application, if you've installed anything else, then it's not a biggie. Usually if you have the account and you can go in and download it again, you know, so it's not like it's dangerous, but it's a lot of work. You have to go to Adobe, reset up your, bring down your Adobe. You have to go to Word, reset your whole container, bring it out. All the different apps that you've used, all the connections that you've had, it all needs to be reinstalled. As long as your files were in the cloud, you're fine. But if your cloud files had been on your computer, then hopefully you have a time machine, because otherwise those will be gone too. Okay, so that's all the scenarios as to why the iCloud is not considered a backup for situations of, you know, errors, human errors. If you commit a human error of deleting something, the cloud deletes it. The mirror backup deletes it. Any backup in the world doesn't save you from human error of you deleting it. Did you recover anything yet of the things that you said you had deleted the other day, Gigi? Okay, she had emptied her trash. So no. Let me talk about that in a minute. Let me talk about that. First, let's explain this. So Gigi's wanting to know, when you delete something, is it really gone? Can't the FBI recover it? Well, for better or for worse, yes and no. It depends. We can't recover it. We wouldn't. It's not taking space on your computer. We wouldn't be able to recover it. Can a sophisticated service system recover it? Maybe. Yeah. It depends. You know, in spy movies, always at the last minute, they put in the right code and choom, the bomb doesn't explode. So it depends, because there's different kinds of deletes. There's the kind of delete where it just, you don't see it anymore, but it's still there. And as new data comes in, it overwrites that. And after a while, it's all been overwritten and then it's gone. But it might take a week or 2 years, depending on how it gets overwritten. Otherwise, software can recover stuff that hasn't been overwritten. Many times when you recover stuff, you recover it. If someone has to do a recovery, they recover things in patches. Depends on how long before. Now, there's other kinds of deletions where it's a scrub deletion, where they truly scrub over and rewrite over it and stuff like that, so that it's regular delete trash sits there unavailable to us, but a software could get it back as long as it's not been overwritten. And overwriting it could be as simple as you just open your computer again, and it so happens that in order to open your computer, that piece that had your memory got used and it's overwritten. So it's not about how much you do or don't do it. You don't have control over where your stuff is and how it gets overwritten. So basically, if you trash something, consider it gone unless you have bazillions of dollars in contracts and in stuff that, oh my God, my whole company is going to go to pot. I'd better go
I don't know if
send
it's
this
my
to a
computer, but-
specialist to try to recover my stuff. You know what I mean? But regular us people, it's gone. There is software you can buy to try to recover stuff. It's for the most part, the best way to recover things that have been deleted without having to pay a single dollar more than what you paid for this time machine is to have a time machine. So that's my point of a time machine. What's the difference between a mirror backup and a time machine? Is that it keeps a history of your files from the past to the present. That's why the name time machine. So when we first install it, for some of you guys today will be the first day, it will take as long as it takes. For some of you guys, you have very little on your computer in 15 minutes. For other people, you have a lot of stuff on your computer. It might take, 10 hours. Who knows? Depends on how much stuff you have in your computer. It will read and copy everything as a mirror backup. It will just do a complete initial backup of your system. Does that make sense? Just copies everything. So the first backup takes a while. After that, it's going, and you keep it connected. Say you keep it connected all the time. Once an hour, it checks into your computer and it goes, any changes? Any changes? Nothing? Turns itself off. An hour later, any changes? Nothing. Turns itself off. All night long, all day long, whenever it's connected. Any changes? And then suddenly, ooh, there's a change. You just created a file. Ooh, there's a change. It gets excited. It copies that little teensy bit. It just changes that little bit. Does that make sense? It keeps the original backup, but it adds the fact that now there's a new file. If you have a desktop, you keep it plugged in on your time. If you have a laptop and it lives on your desk, you keep it plugged in all the time. But if you have a laptop that you move around, bring to class, take away, you eject it. And when you come home, when it's time to, I always say, put it next to where your charger is. And when you charge your laptop, you plug in your time machine. And at that point, maybe a day has gone by. It'll check in any changes. And, oh, she didn't do anything with the computer today. No changes. Oh, she added 10 things today. Ooh, let's add 10 things. So at that point, it'll add 10 things. At worst, if your computer died, that
We can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm saying, remember that other than doing that, which I see out of the corner of my eye, well, you guys, you could warn me if you see people doing that, you can warn me. Other than that, it's just say, we can't hear you. That's all you need to say. Yeah, we're just saying hi. Sometimes some of you guys say hi to people who are people in my Photoshop class. They know each other. They're like, hi, back to forth. So, but just say, we can't hear you. But yeah, that means you need to unmute yourself. So maybe doing this, you guys warning. It's a relay process. All right. So time machine, it keeps adding. Oh, you added 3, so it grows by a teensy-meensy little bit because you added something. And then it keeps growing. So you have a copy of what was true on October 10th on your computer, a snapshot of your computer on October 10th, a snapshot of your computer on October 11th, and a snapshot of your computer on October 12th. And it keeps snapshots. So you can go back and go, last week this was here. I did a cleanup. I lost this. I can't find it anywhere. Let me go back to my time machine to October 9th. Oh, there's the file. Because it keeps a record of your computer's past. Does that make sense? That file that is trashed today is still in your desktop or in your documents folder a week ago. And you can recover it and bring it back to today. And that's the process that I'm going to teach you. Okay? So that's why this kind of backup grows. Because you can have it for many, many years and it keeps growing. At some point, it starts deleting the oldest ones if it runs out of space. That's why I told you to buy something that's at least twice as big. But most of you had to buy something that's even bigger than twice as big, depending on how much space your computer had. So you can go for a long time before there's any reason. And at some point, you can also say, okay, this is from 2017. Let's get a new one. Right now I have a new computer. Let's get a new time machine because hard drives die as well as time machines. But other than that, you can have one for years and years and years. All right. So, that's what this says. So if I delete files or I keep files, the time machine keeps growing. Now, we're going to connect the time machine. But the last thing I want to say, if you are truly, if your files are truly so important to you that it would be horrendous and absolutely devastate if your files disappeared, then you need a third kind of backup. Backup, something in 3 places is considered a real backup at a, you know, industry. Like if this is your business and your business would die if you lose your files, you would have a minimum of 3 backups, right? Not 2. And in this case, a time machine is a physical thing. So if your house goes up in fire, flood, water, it dies together with your computer. So then the third backup would have to be something that's not physical, right? So I'm not saying you have to do this, but if you were to want to do a third backup, then, for example, my photos are everything to me. If I were to lose them, that would be terrible. So I have my stuff backed up also. Not on the Mac cloud, not on the cloud, because as you know, that's good. I have them on there, but that's not a backup. But I have them on a service where I pay to have my stuff backed up on a cloud. The one I use is Backblaze. I've heard good stuff about Carbonite and Backblaze. So I'm going to take you to backblaze.com. There's many services. I've had this one for years. I'm sure there's new ones and I don't know, better or worse. But the reason I like Backblaze, and I believe if you pay more, Carbonite and others would do it, is because I have a lot of hard drives connected to my computer. I told you I have those extra storage spaces. I have my clients, I have my photos. I'm a professional photographer. I have like really big files of photography. My son does video. We have a lot of gear. Definitely not what fits into a computer. All of that connected to my computer. So with Backblaze, it doesn't matter how many hard drives I have. It copies everything, versus others only copy what's on your hard drive, kind of like Time Machine. It's only what's on your computer, versus Backblaze also backs up everything that's connected to my computer. So what it does, you basically would say, sign in. I think it gives you a trial of a month or something if you want. You would sign in and you would just buy. I believe it's about, at this point, $100 a month. Not a month, sorry, a year. Yeah, no, $100 a year, yeah. Personal backup, $100 a year. And as of a year ago, they have, as of a year and a half ago, they have started doing like a time machine thing where it keeps a 1-year version history. So you have a 1 year's worth of having a time machine, basically. So that's pretty new. And I believe they used to have another tier here. Then it goes, okay. So, so there you go. So I pay them $100 a year as long as my computer is connected to Wi-Fi. This one goes through Wi-Fi and it takes forever. Like I have so many gigs of data. It took like 2 weeks to back up me the first time, or 3 weeks even, the first backup. Because I told you I have bazillions of gigs of stuff connected to it. But once it's all up there, it keeps checking in. I don't know how often, once a day, and it just has a backup. And again, I've actually had to use it. I've actually had to use it once. But other than that, and once from Argentina, I needed a file desperately and I didn't have any of my stuff. And that's before I have my stuff on the cloud. So I got it from there. For the most part, it's just insurance. You can't work from it. You can't work from it. The cloud you can work from. This is not. This is just saves your files. But if you need it, you need to download it. And so it's not a cloud. It's not equivalent at all to the iCloud. Yeah, and they just hold your stuff in the cloud. Yeah, so say that you lose something and you lose one file, you can go in and download again that one file, right? or 20 files. But say that you lose your entire computer or all the stuff, then they send you a hard drive. You pay for that hard drive. They send it to you, you back yourself up, you return it, and they give you the money back, right? But they send you a hard drive with all the stuff. They download it and send you the entire hard drive. But if it's just, say, 20 files, you can just download 20 files. Yeah. So the question is if we have photos, but not tons of them, yeah. I don't not like them. It's just all the same. It's all different backup places. Yeah, so there's other places like Dropbox. It operates a bit differently. You have, well, I think Dropbox has also a automatic backup kind of thing, doesn't it? Or do you need to put the stuff up there yourself? Yeah. Yeah, once again, this is a complete computer backup as opposed to just files. So this thing, Backblaze or Carbonite or any of those, it's not just files, it's everything. Okay, so that's one difference. What Phil is asking is how about Dropbox? Some of you guys might have heard about Dropbox. Which other ones did you mention? OneDrive. OneDrive is like Microsoft's version of the iCloud. So it's like iCloud, Microsoft, Google Drive. They're all places that have your files. This is like a time machine in that it's your entire system. It's like a mirror backup. It's a thing that all it does is backups. All these other places that Phil is mentioning is more like the iCloud, places where you put your files and you can use them if you need to, right? Like Google Drive, iCloud, all of these are great. They're just different. It's a different service. They're not right or wrong. They're different services of different brands. Got it? Versus this is a virtual time machine. It's your entire system could be retrieved from this. Like if your computer dies, the worst comes to worst and your entire business gets washed away. South Carolina, how many businesses got washed away in the hurricane? I mean, I'm talking really a devastating loss. This is in that same home, right? The time machine goes with it. Then if you had a service like this, you contact them and you can reset your entire business. So, you know, it's different. It isn't superseded. It's much more complicated because if you really lose everything, you have to contact them. You have to get it. You have to bring it. You have to install. Versus this, you have it in your home and you can retrieve it right now. So it's just an extra layer of protection that hopefully you will never need. Again, that hopefully you will never need kind of thing, because hopefully your house won't be washed away and everything won't disappear and nothing will be so desperate, right? Say that your time machine dies and you didn't notice and you didn't replace it, and that's when your computer dies. I had Backblaze. You know what I mean? It's like insurance. The situation, I've only had to use my Backblaze stuff once. Josie?
Yes, I wanted to verify something with you about the backup. I always thought that when you back it up on when I have the external hard drive with called the Time Machine, I guess, and I always thought that it was overriding. So you mentioned that you could go back to certain dates and you'll have
Yeah, it's
information.
that we're going to do that after break. First, before break, I'm going to set the 5 people who don't have one up. I'm going to show you how to set it up. Everyone else who has it set up will have a longer break, unless you want to sit and watch to see how we do it with everyone. I'm going to take time to set that time machine up for everyone. When we come back from break, everyone who has a running one, I will then basically start demoing how to get to those historical backups and how to retrieve files from it and stuff like that. Okay?
Thank you.
So you're welcome. Barbara? You're muted.
Could you click on the 2-year that was best value when you were showing the Backblaze?
Oh, let me share it again.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what
2 years best value,
Yeah,
bit better,
oh,
189
okay.
instead of instead of 200, it would be 189,
Thank you.
$11 less. Oh, if you, by the way, and this, I don't care if you do or don't, but if you do want to connect to Backblaze at least, and again, this is completely up to you. If you let me know and I send you an invitation, then you and I both get 1 month free. So let me know. But I'm not, I'm not selling it because of that. I'm just selling it because then, hey, you know, I'm not being a shill. They're just a company. You can use any other company. But since I'm part of them, then I send you a link and then, yay, we both get a month free, but not publicizing that as a thing to do. Hold on, because Martha's hand was up first before Carol's. Yes, Martha?
Just a question on that service. I assume that's 99 per
Year.
family member.
Well, per computer.
Okay.
Computer with all of its hard drives. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have 2 hard computers, they don't connect to each other. Like I can put 10 hard drives on mine and it's all one thing, but another computer is a whole nother 100. Yeah.
Okay.
Like for my
Thank
son,
you.
I have to pay a whole nother 100 for him and his stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's usually his Christmas present from mom. Aw, yeah. Yeah. Someone who understands the value of he makes movies. It's so important. Can you imagine if he loses all the files from his movies? I'm like, he was having them all on his little hard drive. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that. I was going into panic. I'm like, you need to have this backed up again. And so that became a thing I do. Yes, Bob?
Yeah, just a quick question. It sounds dumb, maybe. I just
That's
have
somewhat.
iCloud. Isn't that enough? And isn't that the most reliable thing? So just have iCloud?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is it more reliable than the time machine? In a way, yes. Is it as useful as the time machine? No, because the time machine is right then and there.
Yeah.
And when I show you after break, you know, retrieving something that you lost yesterday, Gigi last week, trash stuff, it would have been there in her time machine. You said you have one set up at home. It's there. You can go back and find it now.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking more if there was a disaster. And
But a disaster, yeah, in the case of disaster, so it's kind of like this one costs you, I don't know, $60 once and you can have it for years. The other one you have to pay $100 a year. If you can extend to having both, that's the best. At a minimum, I would say have this one because you buy it once and you're done. If you can extend to $100 a year for the other one, then go for the other one too, is what I'm saying. But of the two, if what you're doing it is for in case of if you're in a high risk fire kind of flood situation place, then you should definitely have the cloud one because, you know, what we're worried about is physical destruction.
yeah,
We all live in California, earthquake place, you know, that could totally be considered physical destruction.
well, I would be just buying a new computer and then having it, just plugging it in and having access to everything on iCloud that was there before, right?
On the iCloud, as I said before, you wouldn't have all the stuff that's not on the cloud, which is anything else you might have in your computer. So if everything you own is just on the iCloud, then the iCloud is good enough. But if you have any applications, anything in
Oh,
any folder or file that's outside of the desktop or documents folder, or for those of you who have chosen not to put your stuff on the desktop document folder, then the time machine is absolutely necessary. And for those of you who have the iCloud, but have thrown something away last week and can't find it, then the time machine helps you find it. Versus now, by the way, big Backblaze is, as of a few years ago, doing this 1-year version. It didn't do it before. Before it was just a mirror. So then you wouldn't have that. But now you do have a 1-year backup version there too. So you could just do $100 a year for Backblaze if you know that you never really get rid of your stuff. So then that's fine. Backblaze and not have the time machine, then just do that. Yep.
okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to let everyone go except for people who want to watch and people who need to set up. So let me remind me again who they were. Jim and who was it from home? Hold on, from Zoom. It was Jim and was it? Okay, guys from home, people who are at home, who needed to set up a time machine. There were 2 of you guys. Jim was one of them and someone else. Are you all there? Okay, let me ask again, Zoom people. Can you hear me right now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so give me yes if you have a running time machine. Give me a no if you don't have a running time machine. Yes if you have a running time machine. No if you don't have a time machine. I need answers from everyone. Okay. Yeah, I don't have answers for everyone, so I need answers from everyone. Yes if you have a running time machine. No if you don't have a running time machine. I know there were 2 people, and I didn't write it down because I didn't assume that you would be gone. I remember I counted 2 people from home. Kristen is not there, so you're not answering. Yolanda has one that's running. Martha Allen has one that's running. He said yes. All right, maybe it's Kristen who's not there.
Was it Jim? I don't know.
Jim has already said he doesn't have one. He said no, that's good, but it was
Was
2
it
people.
Julie?
No,
Julie had to leave.
I have
Julie
mine.
has one.
Oh,
There
you're
were 2
back.
people
Okay.
at home who didn't have it. Let me see if, oh, Jackie. Oh, Jackie. I will be leaving. I can't, I'll use the video. Okay. All right. So it was Jackie and she had to leave right now. Okay. So it's just Jim at home. Okay. And then you guys here, it was Phil, Diana. Okay. Yeah. It takes 2 seconds to set it up. So, and Maud. Okay. All right. So everyone take, normally it's a 15-minute break. Let's say, since it's just check in 20 minutes. And since we only have 2 people, Diana and Jim, who need to set it up. Who else? It was 3 people here. But Maud doesn't have one, so it's just Jim who has it. So it's just Diana. Okay, so it's just Jim and Diana that need to set it up. So let's say 20 minutes. What time is it right now?
So make it 3
so
o'clock. You can make it 3
Be
o'clock.
back at 3 p.m.
Mhm.
And if I'm not back, if you guys come back and I'm not back, it's because we'll go an extra 5 more minutes, because that means that I took too long with Jim and Diana. Okay?
I need to sign out. I'll see you Wednesday.
Got it. See you
Thank
Wednesday.
you.
You're welcome. Oh, for anyone who needs to leave early, please make sure that I sent you a survey for the class earlier on. If you haven't filled it again, I'm going to do it again. Not my personal survey from my link, but a survey that's every 3 years, everyone gets evaluated. We're all getting evaluated and everyone's evaluating each other, teachers. So I've sent you a survey link that's more official, and I need from students of each class. So I'm going to send that to you again. Anyway, if you haven't yet done it, I need you to do it. But even if you did it, I need it again for this class, right? So it's one of those where each class of students need to be surveyed. How did this class go? So if you think, oh, I already did it, I need you guys to do it again. Okay. All right. Hang in there. Let's be back at 3 p.m. And if I'm not back, that means that I'll be back at 3:05 if Jim and Diane take me more than 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So Jim, are you there? And if so, can you share your screen? I'm going to go stand over Diana's, which is right there. Or are you connected, or can you bring your computer right here? Are you powered in? You're pretty charged? Okay, so then bring it over here and I can have you both at the same time. Okay. Cool. So 3 p.m. Yeah. 3 p.m. All right. So Jim, show me your hard drive.
My external hard drive?
Your external hard drive. Did you plug it in yet?
Yes, I did.
It's that one that's sitting there.
It's
on
this
your
one
desktop.
here.
I don't know what it's called. Let me make
It's a
your
Seagate.
window much. hold on. It's that thing called backup drive on your screen. I'm sure is it plugged in right now? Has it been? Okay. If it's plugged in, that's good. Never mind. Open your settings.
Okay, just a moment.
No. So we're gonna connect.
Settings.
Open your computer settings on the dock, far right. Here, let me get my pen,
Here we go.
pencil. Here we go. Over here, or over from there too. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now go to Time Machine.
Oh, okay.
Yours is already set up. Is this one a Mac one? See, it's already doing it. And yours, on the other hand, needs to. So I'm talking to Diane right now. So yours is preparing the first backup. So that was how it was already done. But in your case, we're going to add backup disk. So click on Add Backup Disk. And go ahead and put in your password. Computer password. So take it and plug it in again, but don't unplug this. Okay, just plug it into power and let it be. Yeah, it's okay. Set up disk. Yep. And don't encrypt the backup. I recommend.
Okay.
Yep, there we go. And good. Say done.
Okay.
And cool. Let me make sure that it starts. Does that? And this should be enough. I'd prefer it when this thing is saying prepare and backup. Let's give it a minute. There it is. Now it's saying backup. And yeah, waiting to back up. It'll start in 55 seconds. And there you go. Let's all take our break. Don't
That's all there is
unplug
to it?
Yeah. Sometimes there's more complications and we need to you know, it depends. Sometimes there's more to it. This time it was easy. And so it was for Diane. So we're all on break. So I'll see
Great.
you guys at 3 p.m.
Thank you. Oh, let's see.
Diane, I have a quick question. Okay, never mind.
Hold on.
Um,
Yeah, I had already muted myself because I was going on break. Is it a quick question or can we answer after break? Tell me what the question is.
Okay, the question is, I had 2 external hard drives plugged into my computer with all my photographs on them. And they were, one was a copy of the other one. And for some reason, all the photographs are gone off of one of them. Any idea what happened?
No. But do you have it set up as a clone or do you copy stuff by hand?
You know, I don't remember. I'd have, you know, I took them both out.
Yeah, because there's software that you can set up, just like the Time Machine, where you set up your second one and you have it cloned. So like once a day, you tell it at 2 a.m. when I'm not using the computer, check in and copy, and it clones it, and then you don't need to do anything. But if you grab stuff and copy it over, it'll never be that consistent. And then, yeah, you might have selected and deleted. I wouldn't know why it's not there. As long as the thing is working, you should first check that it's working,
Right.
something on it, and see if it's working, and then just set up. There's
Well, I would only go into it through Lightroom.
yeah.
So maybe I need to put them both back in and have.
Well, if your photos aren't there right now, then they're not there. You need to put them there again. And Carbon Copy is a good software for the Mac. If you buy that and you get it to do a copy, then that's an automatic backup. Right now, if there's nothing there, there's nothing there.
Right.
I don't know what to say.
I mean, I don't know what happened. It's
Yeah.
just, there's nothing on that.
Okay, I need to take my break, so.
Okay,
let
thank you.
me- Okay.
Okay, where'd my trash can go? There it is. Two brand new ink cartridges.
All right, can you guys hear me again? All good?
Yes.
All right. Let's go ahead. I went to have a snack and discovered that in my purse I had an old banana. Poor thing. So I'm gonna have to let that one go. It died a miserable death. Oh, so guys, just so you know, next week, what day is it? No, it'll be not next week then, the following week. Yeah, so not next week, which is, no, the following week is, no, this week is Wednesday. Mac Level 2 starts Wednesday. So next Wednesday, let me make sure I know, because I'm going to ask you to not miss class next Wednesday. Let me make sure. Wednesday, 22nd? Or Monday, anyway, let me, I need to check, Monday. So so next Monday, not this Monday, but in a week, Monday. You know how I just told you that we're doing teacher evaluations, and I'm evaluating 5 teachers. Well, I'm getting evaluated too. So a teacher will come in here next Monday at the beginning of class and sit with us for 50 minutes. So please be here, like be on your early time behavior, and let's get going. Be good. No, you're good, but be here. And if you're not going to be here, be online. And if you're not going to be online, let me know. But do your best Monday 20th to not miss class, because there's not, this is supposed to be a full class. There's not that many of us, and yet some people are missing. What's that? Yeah, no, that's fine. This is a HyperFlex class, but you too, be here, like be here on Zoom. Just be in class is what I'm saying. Next Monday, don't miss class if possible.
You're talking about the 20th?
The 20th, yeah. And since before break, Diane's hand was up. So yes, Diane, what's up?
Okay. Well, I disconnected my time machine because I moved my laptop around a lot, right? So now I went to reconnect it and I can't do it. So I've got the time machine, I have this,
And it's not plugging in?
and I have this. Do I need this?
Since you have your blur turned on, I don't see anything. You need to either turn your blur feature off, or you need to put what you're showing me in front of your nose so that it's in sharp. Let me just make you big. Hold on. Let me make you first big. Okay, so that's your hard drive. Okay, what else are you showing me? The cables. Put the tips in front of your nose. Okay, so that pointed towards me. The one on your left, pointed towards me so I can see the tips. Okay, the one on your left, I need to see the one on your left hand. Yeah, that one goes plugged into the hard drive itself. Yeah, that's the one that goes into the hard drive. So guys, in the back of the hard drive, it's nothing that connects to the computer. It's like a big flat kind of connection. That one, if you look, it's the one that goes into the hard drives. It's the kind of connection they have. And then the other tip.
Oh, finally.
It's
Okay.
got one way or the other way. Yeah. And then the other tip that you have, put it in front of your nose and then pointed it towards me. Okay, point it towards me. That one. Yeah, that's ready to go to plug into your computer. It has the adapter on it. So plug it into your computer.
Okay, and then I just need to.
And then if yours was already set up, that's all you need to do. I'm going to stop the spotlight now. Go ahead and then when I demo now what it looks like, see if it works the way that it was for me. And if not, you can then share your screen, okay? But for now, all you needed to do is plug it in, and that's it. So you needed to have it connected. So guys, is everyone set with their time machine right now? This time it was easy. Sometimes it takes me 5-10 minutes with different things happening on different computers, but this time both Diana and Jim, it was just plug it in, get it going. So no issue with anyone, and so it was fast. So here's the thing. I'm now going to demo from my computer what it's like from this one. Right, you guys don't care which one I'm from. I'm just hold on. I need to make sure my liquid's off. So let me share my screen. All right. So I am plugging my time machine in right now. Which, because this is a new accessory. Oh, the little connection. So it's asking me, do you want to let it connect? Yeah, it's not. Okay. So, I hope that little connection is connecting, because it's not here yet. It should pop into my desktop. Hello? Hello? Yeah, no, but it needs to be connected. In fact, when I open over here, I should be seeing it. There it is. Phew. Took a minute. I was like, what's wrong? Here, let me, here it is. Okay. So you should see it on your desktop, and you should see it if you open a Finder window. You should see it here under locations. You see that? Now mine is called Time Machine, and it says August 2025. That's because I did that. Some of you guys have the name of the brand, like it says Samsung, or some of you guys, like the one that Diana brought me, it was just called Backup Drive, and I think same for Jim's. You guys might have bought the same one. It's just called Backup Drive. That's fine. You can keep it with that name, or you can right click and change and rename it and call it whatever you see. I can right click and rename just like a file and call it whatever I want. I've called mine Time Machine, and I gave it the date of the beginning. So this one's pretty short. I started it in August of 2025. So there's not that much to go back towards, but some of you guys, if you have one of the ones, some of you guys in class might have one that goes much further back, and then later maybe you can share your screen and we can show as a demo one of the long-term ones, so to say. Hold on, I need to move out the chat so that people here get to see what I'm showing much better. My screen share bigger. There we go. Because the space matters for people who aren't my screen behind me. Okay, and I'm short enough that I'm not in the way, right? Okay, so the fact that I see it here and here is not that it's two different ones, it's in the same spot. And the moment I plugged it in, see how over here, it's already giving me these little like round, and it's because the moment I plugged it in, it's like, ooh, you haven't had me plugged in for a while. I unplugged it, I think last night is when I unplugged it to make sure I didn't forget to bring it in today. It's basically checking in, it's backing up. And the other place that I see it is up here on my, let me get the annotation tools up here on my, this is a pink background, so you don't see it too well, but do you see this marker here? Since it's a pink over pink, you don't see it too well, but for some reason, let me change its color to orange. It's going to work too well, or purple. These color and that green, you'll see green better. Okay, so why is it doing that thing where it's giving me that line? But do you see that little icon right there? It's the same icon. It's the Time Machine icon. So even if nothing else is happening, I'm just working. I'm just not paying attention right now. My Time Machine is checking in and running. Can I? Yeah. So hold on. It looks like there's some questions here. This is working. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So the way it's working is that Diana just connected her own, and on her computer it says 29 minutes remaining. Jim, you just connected yours for the first backup. How much time does it say that yours needs?
Mine is finished. This is a pretty new computer, so I didn't have that much, but it's
It
finished.
already finished with yours, and I'm assuming yours too, maybe, Phil, since you don't have much. It's done. Yeah, so Diane has 29 minutes on hers, and Phil and Jim are done. So let me just tell you, where are they seeing this? Where are they seeing whether it's done or not? Over here, all you're seeing is that there's a hard drive connected. It could be a hard drive with more stuff on it. It happens to be a Time Machine on it, but I don't need to do anything from here. Where do I look at things? Two places. One, up here, where I was just pointing to. If I click on that, it's telling me that I can either skip this backup. It's back. The moment I plugged it in, it started a backup because it's like, oh, I've been gone. What did you do in your computer? It's checking it. So it's backing up right now. It's telling me that it's 44% done and that it's copied a certain amount. It's letting me browse my backups, or it's letting me open my Time Machine settings. So from that little icon, I can handle some stuff. But let me just show you first, before we do that, I'm going to open my system settings. Where else is this from? Where else do we get this Time Machine? Where do we see the rest of what's happening is under System Settings General, you go down and there's the time machine. You click on Time Machine, and here's where we go. And I have 2 time machine setups, and the other one, which is the one that I have in here, I wasn't since it hasn't been, anyway, yes, can you have more than one? Yes, you can. Long story why, but I have 2 time machines that this backup has been connecting to all this time. But one I was going to transfer to my older computer and one to this one. So this one I'm going to wipe, and I'm going to have it be the time machine that I'm going to teach from now on. But it wasn't set up for today. So for now, if I were to plug this one in here, it would start backing this one up, which it hasn't backed up since. Look what it says. A backup. I started backing up in May 2025. And the last one was September 2nd, 2025. You see that? So that's how long this one was connected. And when will the next backup come up? Once the disk is connected, right? So once this one finishes, I'm going to actually plug this one in so you guys can see that one that's a little bit longer. But this one, now it's 48% done, about 14 minutes remaining, but all of this is happening in the background. Like if I weren't looking at this, I wouldn't even know. The computer is checking in, it's backing up. If there's any changes, it's just doing it. Do you know what I mean? If I don't have this, I could be working on anything I'm working on, and my computer's just doing it. It doesn't matter at all, like what it's all about. Now, one thing is that in the past, it used to say, and I'm surprised that it doesn't say it right now, because it used to give you here, oh, it tells it to you right here, really tiny. Okay, so it says, Time Machine backs up your computer and keeps local snapshots and hourly backups for the past 24 hours. So and you'll see that, I'm going to show you all of this in a minute. Right now, I'm just telling you, every hour it checks in. It just turns itself on and checks in. If it's connected, it backs up. If it's not connected, it waits until you connect it like I just did, and then it checks in. Does that make sense? So if it stops checking right now, whenever it stops, an hour from now, it'll check in again. It'll wake itself up and it'll check in. Does that make sense? Now, after 24 hours go by, then it condenses that to daily backups. So right now, I can go back and see if this had been connected all morning, which it hasn't. I could go back and I could see 9 a.m., 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 4 a.m. Does that make sense? For 24 hours. Since I haven't had it connected, and that was my bad, I should have had it connected on while we were talking. For some reason, I kept showing it to you instead of connecting it. You would have seen 2 backups. Then after 24 hours, all those get condensed into one day. So now I can go back and see today's backup, yesterday's backup, the day before yesterday's backup, and so on and so forth for 1 month. Then all those monthly backups get connected to weekly. So then I can go check weekly backups all the way to the beginning of time that I started connecting. So I can check on a week for 4 backups for July or August or May or April. Does that make sense? So let me just show you this. This is still backing up. How do we go into these backups? Where do I do this? We go from this little icon. We say Browse Time Machine Backups. I want to go in. So remember, what we're doing right now is all you have to do 99.999% of your life is nothing. Just leave it connected. When you lose something, you wonder, where's this? I just made a mistake. I deleted stuff that I shouldn't have deleted. You know, I can't find it. I've done all my searches. I've looked where it should be. It's really not there. What happened to it? It was here last week. I know it was here last week. Well, let me go check in my time machine for last week. So that's the only reason you would go into your time machine. Does that make sense? What I'm going to show you now, it's in the case when something does happen. So this is where we go in. We go to that little icon there and we say Browse Time Machine Backups. So I'm going to click on Browse Time Machine Backups. And my computer turns into this. Well, I always say that I miss desperately that when the time machine started, and now it's been so many years they don't do this, but this used to turn into the Star Wars thing with signs, the lights, the scale. It was like it totally was taking you down time machine. It was so fun. This is boring. Boring. I know. It's like, why? It was so fun. It used to be so fun. It used to be so fun. Anyway, so here we are inside of my time machine backups, and it's showing me the same place I was in before. So I'm going to cancel for a second. See down here to get out. How do you get out? You hit this cancel. And where I was at, I was in the Macintosh Network Time Machine. This is what I was looking at. Let's say that I'm going to go into desktop, and I'm going to be looking at my desktop. Okay, so you guys see how I'm looking at my desktop there and my desktop here? Yeah? No, I canceled, I'm out. And now I'm in my file, time remover, whatever. So I'm going to click on desktop. I'm going to leave desktop be the place that I'm looking at, okay? And you guys see what's in my desktop. And it's the same stuff that's here, it's the same names, screenshot, so we can see it in two places, right? I have one folder called System Not Working, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files. That's all I'm in this. Got it? I'm going to go and browse my time machine. I'm like, oh my God, there was this file that I know I had in there. I need to go in and see. So now I go browse time machine backups, and it is now showing me my desktop in time. It's showing me this one right now, today, now. See that? Hold on, let me explain it, and then you answer your question. It's showing me right now, this is what I was just looking at. But then it's got all these other desktops back there. What are they about? So watch, they're going to show you in so many different ways. One way is to go and let me back up one. That's today at 3:10 p.m. So what time is it now? 3:20. So that's where I was at, and no difference, right? Let me back up. Whoa. It went to October 10th. What day is today? Day 13th. So it looks like the last time I had it plugged in was October 10th at 4:33 p.m. Any changes? Yeah. So let's keep going back. Oh, look at that. October 6th. Looks like I had more stuff on my desktop. You see that? Over here. Let me keep bagging up. October 4th. Whoa, I had a lot of stuff on my desktop. Remember, I've been teaching you how to organize and do stuff. So I've had different kinds of stuff. I've been working on stuff. So I've been having a lot of changes in my computer over the last few days, which is why when I do this demo, it's kind of cool because you see a lot of different things because we've been doing so much work on our desktop and stuff. So on October 4th, about 9 days ago or so, I had all this stuff on my desktop. Does that make sense now? How it goes back in time? Let me show you other ways you can go back in time. Without so much control, I could just go and click on one of these and bring it forward. So I'm going to click on that one. I don't know what that one is, but I brought it forward and it just came up forward. And now it looks like that. And that was October 1st. So it's kind of like random. What did I go to? So less random is over here on the right side of my screen. I have this scale. It shows me today, now, 3:10 p.m., 3:25, 10:23 a.m., 9:34 a.m., 9:31 a.m., 7, 6, 5, 4. You see that? So if I were to go to now, today at, I don't know, at 3:30 a.m., I'm going to click right here. And it's coming forward again. And this was my computer today. It's a snapshot of my computer today at 3:30 a.m. Does that make sense? It's kind of hard. It's on red over. It says today at 3. It's in this background, it's hard to see it. But yeah, now there it's in white. See that? Today, when I click on it, it became red. So you couldn't read it anymore. But then after today, after 24 hours, actually it's not been 24 hours. So it's still 24 hours. So I'm still going to have 24 hours until about yesterday at 11 a.m. Then it goes back to once a day. So I can go back to October 11th, right there. I can go back to October 10th, October 9th, October 8th. You see that? October 7th, October 6th, so on and so forth for a month. And then after that, I can go back for 1 week at a time. So after a month, so when would a month after now be? So at about here, I'm going to September 14th. And then it jumps to September 8th, which is a week before that. Then it goes to September 1st, which is a week before that. You see that? So it begins condensing. It assumes that if you haven't needed it by now, you probably don't need so many detailed days. And so now it's from now on, it's once a week. So if I go to September 4th, August 25th, August 16th, and that's when I started it. So that's the end of what I have on this hard drive. Does that make sense? But let me go to August 16th, 2025. That's when I first started. And see how there's no more desktops there? This is when the beginning of history for this computer goes. And this was my screenshot then. Let me view it as this so I can look, and this is what I had at that point. Okay. So why would this be? And again, on my actual computer's hard drive, this goes down a couple of years because I've had a long time running one for a couple of years on that one. Later, when I put this one in, this one says it goes till May. Was everyone in their own time machines able to do this? Now, if you do this if you have your own computer and I'm teaching, you can't do that. It'll take over your screen. You can't like do half and half. So I'm going to stop my screen for a minute. I'm going to stop my screen share for a minute. So I went and canceled. And now I want everyone to go into their own icon and go into browse. Okay, so you're going to go up to that little icon on your mouse and you're going to go to browse your time machine backups. And I want you to do what I did. Just explore. What backups do you have? Diane, is yours still happening? You can't do that. You're still doing your first backup. Diane? Yeah, well, no, if it's still. Yeah, so the next one, it says at 318, it did one. So you can go browse, although you'll have only one.
Which one is it?
That little guy.
Yeah, I don't have much in this.
Yeah, well, click on it. It doesn't matter how much you have. It's there. Go to browse your time machine backups and you'll have one. Right? So you won't be able to go back much because you just started.
But I got a few there.
We'll go down and see if it's backing you up to today at 318 when it finished. And I guess it was beginning at 2:43. It was beginning the copy. Well, it's probably because it was beginning the copy at that point. So, and then that's it. So go back to this. Yep. And then there we go. So now let's escape, say cancel. No, we don't have touchscreen computers. I was just pointing. Okay.
I do whatever you do. Teach.
Yeah, I was just saying touch cancel. Okay. So then go to your documents, for example. Okay. So this is all you have in your computer. So if you go into your browser, right now it's 3:30. So you have had one backup at 3:18. That's when it finished. And it's not an hour from 3:18, so you don't have a second backup yet. Does that make sense? But in an hour, you'll have a second one. No. 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 So did that work for you, Blas? Okay, so let me just show something. Whatever you're looking at, so since you guys were clicking on time machine, whatever, it looks like you're looking inside of your computer, your hard drive, whatever, but go to desktop or go to documents, something that you recognize first. So, and then that will be like something recognizable. So whatever you're looking at right now is, yeah, click on documents. Is that all you have in your documents?
Well,
No, it's in your download.
No, I got time.
So now you can go backwards and yours started in September, right? So that's your latest one. So go back in time to your others. For now, I'm not telling you how to handle, how to your cover, how to do. I'm just asking you to see if you can see backwards your backups, which is all I've done up to now. Kind of trace your backup. If you, Diana, Jim, and Phil, they just started, so there's nothing to go back on. But the rest of you guys who've had it for a while, just tell me if it's working to go see your stuff. And I see some hands up, but hold on, Diana has a question, and I think Gigi has a question. So yes, Diana.
Like writing a book, make one change, that change
No, so Diana has a question. If you're writing a book and you make a change, right? So how is that gonna go when you go backwards? So since you don't have many right now, I'm gonna do a demo right now of that. And so I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna keep asking questions while this works its magic. So watch for a minute. Are you all, you have to cancel out of your time machines so that when I share, my screen share comes up again. So the bottom of the browser, there's a word cancel. You can also hit the escape key and you should go back to out of that. It'll just go out and you'll be back on your computer. So now I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to use the, here, I'll use my documents folder. Maybe it'd be easier because these are all folders. There's no loose files. You see that? So I'm going to put a loose file in here. So I'm going to open Pages and I'm going to make a new document and I'm going to call this new document, I'll make it be a meal again. So what meal should I make? Lasagna. How come I thought of lasagna too? I was about to say lasagna and then you said lasagna. That's so bizarre, I swear. Okay, lasagna by Gigi. Okay, so this is the lasagna by Gigi. I'm going to save this file and I'm going to save it into my documents folder and I'm going to not save it where it should go. I'm going to save it just in the main documents folder. Okay. And I'm going to call this one lasagna by Gigi. And I'm going to save it. So now I'm going to go over and there it is. My lasagna by Gigi is hanging out there, not in a folder. Do you guys see that? That wasn't there when I was, when my computer was doing a backup. So now I'm going to force it. Well, first I'm going to browse right now. First browse my time machine. And right now there it is, the lasagna. But if I go back to today at 3:25, there was no lasagna there, right? That was from today to 3:25. If I go to right now, there's a lasagna there. Got it? It appeared because it just got created. Now I'm going to cancel. I'm going to force a backup. Oh, backup failed because I've been going back and forth. So, okay, I'm going to say backup now. And I'm going to have it back up. So as I keep talking to you guys, I'm forcing a backup right now at 3:32 p.m., 3:33 p.m. Okay? Not force, meaning force sounds horrible, like it's a bad thing. I don't want to wait an hour for the next backup, which is the automatic one. So I am making one happen right now. Which if you're about to make a big change in your computer, you're about to take it into tech support or you're about to install something else, you just go back up now, right? So you just say, I want this sealed in stone, right? So you make it happen now. So say that you just finished writing the finale of your novel and it's amazing and you're so happy, I got it finally. You're not going to wait an hour. Just in case, back up now. In case something happens, right? So you can, so force sounds like it's a problem. No, it's more like you want it. Let me just back up now. I'm about to disconnect my hard drive because I'm about to take my computer somewhere and I haven't backed up. Let me just back up now. I don't care what part of the rotation it's in. And then you take it away. Does that make sense? So you can make a backup happen. So I just made a backup happen. And I'm going to wait until it's done. And then when it's done, I'm going to modify my lasagna by adding some ingredients. And then we're going to see that the backup from right now will have no ingredients. And the new one will have ingredients. And the one before the new one will have no lasagna recipe. So that would be 3 backups in a row. Does that make sense? So it keeps the old copy. So this is my long way of answering Diana's question, which is like, if you make a change in your document, does it go, I think you said line by line or something? No, it just, the moment you say back up, it takes a snapshot. What's the state of that document right now? The state of this document right now, it just has a title. An hour ago, the state of the document was non-existent. When this is done and I work on this document again, it'll have 3 ingredients. So then by the time, say, tomorrow's backup, my recipe should be finished and written. But if I lose the entire recipe, I will have a choice to go back to when all the ingredients are in there, or to when I was beginning to write it, or to when it wasn't even there. Does that make sense? So you get to choose. Yes, so remember when I took you, I'm going to go browse my backup again. So I'm browsing time machine, although that might stop my backup from happening if I browse it again. Did it stop it when I browsed it? Because it said failed. It might have. It says 50% done. The thing is turning there. The thing is turning here. It used to turn there. It's not turning there. It does turns here. But if this is off and you're not looking at this, then that doesn't turn anymore. But if you click on it, it says 53% done, 130 copied, and that keeps growing. And it says skip this backup, which means it's backing up, because if not, here it would say backup now, which is what I did to trigger a backup. But now it says skip this backup. It means that I am telling it, no, just I need to disconnect right now. Skip the backup. I'm going to disconnect right now. Right? But so that's why how you know it is happening right now. So I'm actually going to wait and see if I'm going to let it back up so that for the demo this will work before I finish. But yeah.
What happens if you, let's say, back up and you go reject it?
Yeah, so right now I'm not in Time Machine, you guys. I'm in my regular computer. And I showed you this before. It's a really important question. I'm going to repeat it as many times as you guys need. What happens if right now I was to unplug this thing? Probably nothing. I might lose this one backup. Probably nothing. But when I say probably, I could probably lose maybe one file, maybe 10 files, maybe the whole thing. You don't know what process it's in the middle of doing. When you pull out, you might destroy a process. That process might be as simple as, oh, one file right now has been corrupted. What if that is your novel? What if that is a file that you never even find out that it was corrupted? What if nothing did happen? It could be that unplugging does nothing. Highly recommended to eject, because you really don't know what's happening. The moment you unplug, something got interrupted. The backup doesn't get lost. Technically, the backup stops, and when you plug in again, it just continues. But you don't know. So just in case, don't unplug it. Eject it first, then unplug it. You got that, you guys? What will happen? Anything from nothing to absolute devastation. So why try it? And the whole point is that most of the times nothing happens. And so people go, oh, I always unplug it and nothing ever happened to me. Yeah, I drive from here to home every day. Nothing happens to me. That doesn't mean one day I can't have an accident, right? So, so to eject, and I don't want to eject it right now because it's still backing up. Oh, backup failed again. Oh, it's trying to back. No, it's trying to back. Okay, no. It's trying to back up to Time Machine Wake 3,
Time Machine,
which is this one, which is not plugged in. When I said backup now, I forgot that I had two backups connected. So I actually need to go back to Time Machine settings. This is the one that's failing because it's not working. I'm going to click on this one and let's see if it can I don't know that I can, because the thing is that when you have two backups, it goes in order. If that's the last one it did, then it goes to this one. Then it goes into this one. So if I tell it to back up right now, I don't know that it'll pay attention to force this one. Well, that's why it failed, because it wasn't connected. Let me see if it tells me, yes, the right one is backing up then, because it goes 1, 1, 1, 1. So now the right one's backing up, which is this one. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. And this should be, I was surprised that it was taking so long. And it's of course taking long because it hasn't been connected to this one in a long time. See how this is going to be much quicker. But I triggered it from up there. I triggered it to start from up there. Okay. But it was looking at that one and I just didn't pay attention. I just said, oh, backup field. And I did it again. And it's because I wasn't doing it to the right one. Normally, you don't have to. This is because one of these is my backup and the other one is the school backup, and I have them in different locations. Normally, one backup is enough, unless you have a backup that's not running well or you want double security, and you can have two, as you can see. In fact, in my other computer, I have three because one, it's dying. So I just installed the second one, and then I have two, it's too small, so I'm going to put another one in, and then I'm going to get rid of the other two. Whatever, I'm in transition over there. But you can have more. They just takes turns. It backs one up, and another one, and another one. It goes back to the first one. Okay, so I can't eject it because it's backing out. But if I were to want to eject it, I would right click on it and say eject time machine. Okay, right click over there or over here. Right click, eject. Or I could drag it and put it in the trash, and that's ejecting. That's how we ejected for 20 years until the right click. Yeah, if it's not backing up. I mean, you can eject it during the backup, as I said. It should pick up and eject again. Yeah, so if it's finished, you can eject it. But the whole point is, why not keep it connected until the end of class? Meaning it doesn't use power, it doesn't do anything. If an hour comes by before the end of class, since your last one, it'll check in again. What I'm saying is, if you're home at your desk and your computer sits there all day because you're cooking, eating, doing other stuff, leave it connected. But when you're moving it around, that would be a reason to disconnect it. But if you're not moving your computer, don't disconnect it, leave it connected, right? Otherwise, what happens is people forget to plug it in, and next thing you know, your computer dies and your last backup was 3 months ago. Does that make sense? So it doesn't interrupt your flow. It doesn't do anything. It's just there. Leave it connected as long as you don't need to move your computer. So for us desktop users at home, mine is a desktop, you just basically leave it connected the whole time. Yes, Jim's hand has been up for a second. Hold on, Gigi. Yes, Jim? You're muted.
Yes.
Let me stop my shares.
When I hit my time clock, as you suggested, I get into my iCloud backup. Is that a setting that I've not completed properly,
Share
or
your screen. I have no idea when you click on that little clock, you're going to
okay?
share
Hang
your
on just a
screen.
second. So let's see. I'm sharing. So if I go to
So
the
you're okay. So James,
can you see that?
click on that. Yeah.
Okay. So if I click on the time clock,
Yeah.
let me close this. So it gives me this on the side. So I want to browse my time machine backups.
Yeah.
And then I bring this in and see it seems to be the iCloud, it's backing up to the iCloud drive. I don't know why it says iCloud
No,
drive at
this
the
is a
top.
Finder window. You're looking at your iCloud Drive. Go look at your desktop. Look at your documents. It's a Finder
see.
window.
I
Go
see.
click
Okay.
on whatever you're looking at. Oh, and I
Thank-
didn't get to teach you recents the other day, well, so I was hoping to do that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just your entire computer is being backed up. You just happen to be looking at whatever, it starts showing you whatever you were looking at when you open, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know.
Okay. Gigi? Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys retrieval, but the thing about is that I really don't know. It says backup failed again. Latest backup to time machine. Okay, I'm going to stop figuring out what's wrong with that. Right now I'm going to go in the teacher. I don't know why that back is failing. I'm wondering if, because the connection at first took a while to connect. I don't know. Anyway, so Gigi lost some stuff that she put in the trash, right? So one thing I don't know is if you can go and retrieve things from the trash. My point is, what you can retrieve is from where before you put it in the trash, you guys. So if a week ago or 2 weeks ago before you put it in the trash. You go to the documents folder. All the stuff you trash should be there. Does that make sense? You can't go into Time Machine and retrieve, like you can't act on your computer in history. So you couldn't go into your trash and retrieve them as much as you can't right now because they're not there anymore. You go to ones before you trash them, and there they are sitting in your documents folder or wherever they were. Does that make sense, you guys? So when you go back long enough and there they are, so then how do you retrieve it? So say that this day, which is, that's today at 20, let's go to September 27th. I just drove all the way back to September 27th, okay? And in September 27th on my, let's see what I had on my desktop at that point. On my desktop, I had this thing called, you're not seeing it on screen? Okay, sorry. I've been talking all this time without you seeing it on screen. Make sure to tell me. Thank you, Blast, for telling me. Okay, now I'm in my computer. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and enter my Time Machine backups. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I know I had something in my documents or in my desktop on September 27th that I need right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to September 27th. There we go. I backed up to September 27th, and there's that file that I trashed on September 28th. Does that make sense? So you back up one beyond when you trashed it and say it was this one. It's like, oh, God, I'm so glad it's there. CRNs for fall 2025. I can't work on it in my history of September 22nd. What I can do is I can recover it. So watch what I'm going to do. I select it. That's the one that that's not there right now. It was on my desktop, so it's going to go back to my desktop. So after I've selected it, I go down here to the word restore. Remember, I'm in September 22nd. It doesn't exist in my computer anymore. I lost it. I trashed it. I did whatever I did with it. I restore, and so it comes back in time, and it brings me up to today. And here it is. I today have this file on my desktop again. It snatches it from there and it just brings it back to today. Does that make sense? It pulls me out of Time Machine, and here it is on my desktop. It was on my desktop. It comes back to my desktop. Had I looked for it, hold on. So had I gone in, and I'm going to go in again, browse Time Machine backups. Now I'm going to go to, I don't know, September 17th, my sister's birthday. And I'm going to go into my documents folder, and I'm going to open, and this is important because what if the folder didn't exist? I'm trying to find one that I don't think I have art photos set up right now. I don't think I have art photos set up right now. Do I? I know I don't have personal set up right now, but I do have the family files. So something that I don't have set up right now. I think I don't. What do I have set up right now? I should probably check. I think I don't have art photos set up right now. So I'm going to say that I need this one, but there's nothing in there, so that's not going to work. Let me cancel. I need to see what I have right now. This is right now in my documents. I have art. I have family files right there. Let me just right click and delete my family files so I don't have it. Okay. I don't have it anymore. It's in the trash. If it's in the trash, it's not considered in your computer anymore, even though it is, but I'm going to go back, see how family files is gone. I'm going to go back into my history, Brown Time Machine backups, and I'm going to go back to my sister's birthday. So that one's easy to remember, which is September 17th. There we go. Back in time. And there I have, under personal, I have family files example. You see that? How about if I retrieve this whole folder? Because I noticed I don't have personal. I'm going to restore. I was in documents. So I restore this whole folder. And here it goes, and it created a personal folder. When I open it, family files are in there with a bunch of folders. So it doesn't about one file. It retrieves whatever you select. It's retrieving all of this. Does that make sense? It retrieved family files inside of the folder that it was in. Now I'm going to, did you get that right? Before I continue, it created the folder, which is a bunch of folders, which then has files inside of it. So it doesn't do one file at a time. It's whatever you select. Now I'm going to move this one to the trash again. Family files, sorry, hold personal family files. It's trashed again, so it doesn't exist right now. Okay. I'm going to go one last time back in time. Not one last time, but another example. I'm going to go back to that good old September 17th because I know it's there. Oops. It's still September 17th. Okay. I'm going to go into something that was there. Recipes is there. Recipes, I have recipes right now, right? I'm going to bring this recipes. This recipes is from September 17th. I'm going to restore recipes. Well, the location to which you're restoring recipes already contains an item with that same name. Do you want to replace it with the one you're restoring? It's like, I don't want my oldest one restoring my newest one. You see what it means? But what if my new novel, I messed up. I lost 3 chapters. The file corrupted. Something happened. I go back in time, find the good one. And yes, I want to replace the new one with the old one because the new one got messed up. Does that make sense? But in this case, no. I don't want to keep both. If I could keep both, it would give me 2 copies of both. If I would say keep original or replace, if I say replace, it's going to give me an old family files. So I'm going to see keep original. No. But just for you guys to see what happens if I were to say keep both, which I don't recommend. You don't want duplicates of a bunch of stuff, but it says recipes and then recipes from backup. In case you have a need to compare or something like that. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm going to delete it again. So now, if I were to now, let me just delete this good old lasagna. It's gone. If I go back into my browse time machines, I was going to add ingredients, but let's just do it this way. Today, right now, I don't have it. I lost it. I was working so hard on it. Oh my goodness. Let me just go back. I'll select it and I'll restore it. And so now, there it is. And I can just open it and keep adding ingredients.
She's
Okay?
so good at that.
So if Gigi, who lost some stuff in a trash, about a week ago you came in, you told me, then go back to 10 days ago, I guess, or whenever, the day before you did that, select all those files or that folder or wherever they were, and go down and say restore, and they'll come back, they'll be placed where they were. If that folder is gone, say like my personal folder wasn't there, it'll create that folder where it was in, but it'll put it where it was. So you need to go find it wherever it was. Does that make sense? Cool. Now everyone, I have to stop my share or you can't go into your own. Everyone who has an active one, I'm going to meanwhile deal with Sue's questions, but everyone, browse your time machines, go back in time, select a file. It doesn't matter if you know it's there or not, because you saw that if you still have it, it'll tell you, well, do you want to replace or not? At that point, say, don't, keep original, but try the process of restoring. Okay? Yes, Sue.
This you passed this subject earlier, but wasn't there last semester a shortcut to ejecting where you showed just
The shortcut is right-click eject or take it straight to the trash. Those are the 2 ways. There's one more way, which
like
is that little tiny icon that appears on the right side of But I don't want to share right now because people are doing their browse time machines and then
Right.
I'm gonna take over their computer. So
Okay.
there's 3 ways of ejecting. I'll show them to you, but I need to wait until
Right.
I can share again. First, I want everyone. Can you all please give me a yes once you're done retrieving something? So everyone has to try to retrieve something. Well, depends on what process you're doing. Yeah, but as I'm saying, the backups, it just interrupts it and then you do it again. There's other process. If you're copying or moving, it'll say, oh,
What are you doing?
finished copying, the thing is in use. But a backup, it just interrupts the backup.
You pick up Charlotte?
That's what I'm saying. It depends on the process, what you're doing. So yours
Laundry
is not
day.
restoring.
Well, it's not showing that date.
Huh.
You don't have any backups older than September 25th. I don't know when you started it, but that's the oldest one you have is from this date.
No, I backed it up today before I came to class.
Yeah, so then it'll be in here. That is older than September 25th. So something from today would be in here under today.
I've been backing this up for a long time, this computer on this for a long time.
Really?
Yes. For years.
It's not good. Let's see.
Well, this is the Santa Barbara one, yes.
Is this one? Backups. Yeah. 2015, 2016, 2018, 2025. So yeah, they're there in your computer. Why can't you see it under?
You going to school?
I'm
No, to
wondering
the boys' room.
what? In Sequoia, okay. So when you browse your backups, they're there. The backups are there. Oh, there.
Oh,
I don't know why they're there. So since guys, Blast has backups since 2014. This is the longest backups I have ever seen on
Mhm.
it.
credit Martha.
Okay, it's all about you, Martha. It's your doing. She's online right now. That said, it's not going. So it's interesting. Hold on. It's not going to them. So I'm showing you something else. If it's not, it is so far, and the system software has changed so much that maybe it can't retrieve like something that old. So let me show you. Since I do know it's there because I saw them on the hard drive, right? Then worst case scenario, say that you need to retrieve something from 2014. If you open this folder, it's a copy of your entire computer that day. So you open this folder. I'm going to double click to get into it. It's your system, your users is you. Double click to get in there. This is you. You double click. And it has your desktop, your downloads, your pictures. It shows you your files. These are your files from 2013, 2016. See that? So you can go into your desktop at that point and go into your banking at that point, or your trailers at that point, or this screenshot is from 2014. You see your files are there, but for some reason, I guess I've never seen one this old. It can't seem to retrieve them in that mode. But this is your old files. So say that you wanted to bring this screenshot up, then you can just, and this is where I wouldn't take it out in case you might mess it up, but I would copy, right? And then I'll paste it right there. And this is the file from 2014. Does that make sense? It's that one from February 2014. I just copied and pasted it to today. Got it?
How did you copy it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
did
went
it.
to their.
I did a shortcut. I did a copy shortcut Command C,
Oh, that's right.
and then I did a Command V for paste. But I could have done File edit, copy, edit, paste, right? I just always use shortcuts. So I think it's probably because it's, you know, like it just can't, the current software can't retrieve it, but the stuff is there. Oh, and there's Martha stuff. I guess our folder called Martha. So you would have to go into the files themselves. You see what I mean? All of these, you can go to 2018 to 2024 to 20, let's go to 2019. You go into the Macintosh hard drive of 2019, users, and there's Blast 2019. And now it's going to show you, these are all the things that you had in the computer on 2019. You have files from 2017, 2019. Does that make sense? So the stuff is still there, but for some reason, yeah, it's not retrievable through the browser system, which I've never experienced such an old one. So this is news to me. Let's see how far back it does go. So can you see anything? So it goes to October, goes to September. Why is it not going? It goes to October 2024, right? And this is March 2018. No, it's doing it now. Here we go. We're in March 2018. And this is 2016. So it is going. Okay. For some reason it wasn't. Now this is 2015. July 2014. And all the way to May 2014. There we go. This is your computer, May 2014. Since, you know, if you were to just certainly see my documents. Why is it making you see? Let me just cancel. I should have been in my documents folder. So let me just start. Let me go in your doc. Oh, because you didn't have your stuff in iCloud Drive before.
I did.
So you can't go. That's why it wasn't letting us go back. When I went into the computer itself, it could go back, but it couldn't. But the downloads should be consistent. So let's go into the downloads because that hasn't changed computer. And let's browse Time Machine backups. And you should be able to go to your downloads all the way back to any of these. See? I think it needs to read it first a little bit because at first it's sitting there not going and then it starts going. Yeah. It's like you need to slowly let it read. See, it needs to go in. Anyway, so give it. Okay, so now let's see. I'm going to jump all the way to 2015. Is that too much of a jump? Yeah, you need to slowly.
But I recently went from, my documents were up here.
Yeah, it's
So-
just that it changed completely to have them be in, and it's not so much when I might see it, but it went from having them. So this is what day is this? Is October 2nd for your documents in the cloud. Now when I go to, I don't know, March, when did it stop? Let me see. January, that's July. Here's your documents. This is July. This is April. It's like if I at some point stops going back here, it goes to March 2021. But right now, 2021, 29. And it's doing 2021. Let me see, November 2020. Yeah, something about not recognizing where it was because it went fine. When I was in the hard drive, it went all the way back. But when I'm in the desktop or in the documents, it doesn't want to go further back. 2017, it won't. It just doesn't. This is the farthest it'll go. March 2021. When I go into something 2020, it won't. So I think that's where the system must have changed enough. You know what I mean? I mean, the files are there, but you can't. All right. Guys, how's it going? So I was, whoops, that's my alarm that class will be over soon. Guys, I was just helping Blast. Remember that I don't know if you guys heard me here at home, but he has a hard drive that has backups up to March 2014, which is, I've never seen that. Now, whenever I've been saying 2017, like really long, now I'm like, okay, woo, 3 years before that. I've changed computers, I've refreshed them. If I find one of my old ones, I probably do, but I don't have one that's been going that long. I think my oldest one is 2018. Because when I change computer to change system, I've just, they do, look at that. His is there from 2014. So here's the thing. We were able to go back when we select at the beginning the hard drive, then it goes back all the way to 2014 and you can open and but when we select the documents or the desktop folder, it's only letting us go back through the browser, through the browse time machine. It only lets us go back to March 2021. When we go to 2020, it doesn't, the system must have really changed so much that it can't read that through the
Can't hear you.
now.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not lost. Through the hard drive, I was able to go all the way back and retrieve everything, and we retrieved a file from 2014 onto his desktop now. But through the browser, open browser, cool time machine backup, it only lets us go back 2021. The rest of the dates are there, but it's not letting us see. And I'm thinking that the systems have changed so much since then that it can't like read it through that browser. But the files are there, so he hasn't lost them. If he needs to, he goes in just as a file you just open the folder from the hard drive itself. And under users, he has all his files in there. Anyway, so I was like, just screenshot it. Like, can you send me a screenshot of your thing that says 2014? I'm amazed. I haven't seen one that's that old. What? Oh, thank you for saying that. No, don't delete files from your time machine. Okay. I had someone who did that once. Who I said, oh, well, I don't want all this stuff clogging up. There's a reason I trashed it. Well, be careful. If you trash time machines because, you know, FBI was coming into your house, they're still there in your time machine. But B, if you start trashing files from the fact that you can't access them through the hard drive and trash them differently, then you're kind of upsetting the whole system. Like that file is supposed to be there and the computer can't find them, and then it kind of go haywire. You know what I mean? Like if you go through the browser setup, now if you go through it by hand, like we just did, sure, delete it, but then it's deleted. Does that make sense? So anyway, it's just kind of like this needs to find its path. Okay, we have just a couple more minutes. I will explain recents, but we will explain it again on Wednesday. Okay, but I want to introduce the concept so you begin to understand it. It was part of this class. We've had, remember at the beginning, I had missed the last day of my intro to the Mac Level 1. Those who were not there that day, I was sick the last day of Mac Level 1. So I kind of picked up a bit on that. So I'm a little bit behind on what I had to teach you, and then all the tech issues that we've had at the beginning. So let me share my Finder window, pay attention, and let me just explain the recents. First of all, and I want to clarify, all these files that are in Documents folder have a home in the Documents folder. Anything I left in the desktop has a home on the desktop. Anything that's in the downloads has a home in the downloads. You know where they are. If you look at their paths, click on a file, look at the path, it tells me part-time credit insurance qualification is inside of downloads, is inside of SPC teacher, inside of user, right? It has a place, it has a home. Everything we've been doing, once you click on it, even my good old lasagna by Gigi that I recovered after trashing, it lives in my documents in my iCloud Drive. If I look at the path, I know where everything lives, right? But if I don't look at path, if all I do is click the right folder, I'm aware that if it's in the right place, that's where it should be. If I look at the downloads, this should be in the download, document in the download. So all these folders up until now have been place locations, right? In fact, if I click on these that I made really quickly for myself, that I told you these are the things that I've dragged out. If I click on that, it takes me to the file Photoshop class files. If I want to know where those are, I look down here. Oh, they're in my downloads in SVCC, right? So it's all about location. Every click that we have here is about location, location, location. Yeah.
Mm.
Except for recents. Recents is a search. Pay attention. Before I go back to recents, pay attention to me. Remember when someone said, what if I lose something? Right? And if you click on, let me actually show you recents. Give me a second. I'm going to have to show you recents in this computer because I haven't been using this computer. This one that I was just sharing, I haven't been using in the SVCC teacher mode. It's been sitting at home in a different user mode. So I'm going to go to the school computer where I have been opening stuff and I have recents to share with you. So let me share this screen because I didn't have good recents to share on that one. Okay, so here we go. So all of these are location based except for recents. Recents is as if I had done a search. Remember, this is a search. And if I could do a search through my entire computers and said, what are the, put in order everything that I have used in order of when I used it last. So this is the only one of all these folders that is not location based. It's really a search. It catches all the things that you've been using and it says you use this one and you use that one and you use this one. So watch. The way that the recents is usually organized is by date last open. So when I go to recents, it's showing me lasagna, which makes sense. I just made this one, didn't I? So there's lasagna. And by the way, notice that I made it on this computer. It doesn't matter because I'm on the same, these are the same cloud. But anyway, just saying. So here I have lasagna by Gigi. The kind, its pages, when was it open? It was open today at 3:31. Where does it belong? It doesn't belong at recents. It belongs in, look at the path, Documents, iCloud Drive. Here, let me move this over so we don't have to look at so much stuff. It tells me where it is. But when I go to recents, I don't go to a location. I go to a place where the screen, these are not ordered in the way, and because they're in the same place, they are ordered in when I use it last. So when I click on screenshot, screenshot is on the desktop. Lasagna is in documents. The next thing is in the desktop. Does that make sense? This one is in my downloads. But looks like I used it on October 8th. These I used on October 10th. This one I used today. Does that make sense? Yeah. So let me clarify. This isn't a copy. This isn't a second file that's here. There's one in downloads and one here, and then this is imagine all those aliases and screen and stuff that we've been doing that have been put in here, in the sense that this is that file. It's just okay. So if I go to downloads, I can see it in this view, or I can see it in this view, or I can see it in this view, right? It's just different views of the same thing. This is a different view of all my files, just organized by in order of appearance versus by location. Everything else here appears in order based on location. If it's in documents, I see it here. If it's in desktop, I see it here. If it's in downloads, I see it here. If it's applications, I see it here. If it's been recently used, I see it there. I know. That's my alarm saying, let them go, enough already. So it's like, keep banging at me. It's on vibration, so I'm sitting on this. So I'm sure you guys will have more questions about this. We'll talk next week, but be careful. This is not a copy. If I delete this file, where am I deleting it from? I'm deleting it from the documents folder, which since it's in the cloud means I'm deleting it from everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So this isn't a copy or another one. It's the same one that if I go to documents, there it is. It's just that it's showing them in a different view. Instead of having a view here called recent, which they could have it here, but it would make more sense to have a view called icons, a view called lints, a view called recent. They happen to have it here. So it's a view of all my files. And the only reason they're organized in here in this way is because you've used it last. And that's in particular because a lot of people don't know where their files are, don't know what you guys know, how to go to find the files. So it's like, well, I know I used it last week. So then you can go in here and go to last week and go, oh, there's the file I used last week, wherever it is that I put it. Does that make sense? So it's just a view, which I really wish they had it here, but since they have it here, it's because most people have no idea where their files are. So they added it here, and it didn't exist up until, well, at this point, it's about 4 years old. Before we had a different version here that was even harder to explain. This one's not as hard to explain. I never use it because I know where my files are. But for some people, it's the only way they know where their files are. So it depends on you whether you use it a lot or not. Does that make sense? All right. And this is the most important, it goes down until whenever you started using this computer. So I started using it in 2020. So if you go down there, it's kind of like you can see any files you haven't even used since then. This is because that's when this computer was set up. So but it's like, oh, should I delete all these old files? No, if they're still here, it's because these files exist in your computer somewhere, right? So if you delete it from here, even though I haven't opened it since 2023, I will be deleting it from the do not remove documents folder, right? So don't think, oh, I'll get rid of all these old files. They're not old files. This is just the last time you opened it. If you want to delete it because you don't need it anyway, I mean, it's not a bad idea to say, well, if I haven't used this file since 2020, do I really need it? And you go, oh my God, that's so old. But if you delete it from here, you're effectively deleting it from where it lives, okay? Not a bad idea if you have a computer that has files from 2014 to go and say, do I need it? Oh my God, no, that's really important. It's my father's last letter to me. Of course it's important. Who cares if it's from 2014? But if it's like a bill from 2014, 2025, do I need a copy of a bill from 2014? Probably not. You can toss it. Does that make sense? All right. But it's not a place. It's just a time. It's just a search. All right. Any questions that are left about recents? Play with it, touch it. My only request is don't delete it just because it looks old unless you happen to not need it. Then it's gone from there. It's gone from there. Yeah. It's gone from there. Good question. So if you don't see it, it's not like you'll find, it's not like Time Machine. You won't find a file that's been deleted in there. If I delete the file from my computer, it deletes from that list. So if I delete that file that was last opened in 2018 from wherever I delete it, it'll disappear from that list as well because it's not there to be opened anymore. Okay. Then you have to go find it in Time Machine. Yeah. What's that? In the instant, no, putting in the trash can't be undone. You have to go to the trash, open it up and say put back. Yeah. Okay, guys, officially the class is over. I'll stay and answer questions for a teensy bit because I teach another class at 5. But this is over. Mac level 1 is over. If you're not signed up to Mac level 2, you won't come on Wednesday to class. Mac level 2, I sent an email this morning saying, welcome to Mac level 2. If you did not get a Mac level 2 welcome, you're not in the roster. You need to sign up for Mac level 2. So if you go to your to Mac level 2, if you want to come to class on Wednesday to Mac level 2, you need to be registered. If you don't know if you're registered, I can open the rosters right now to show you if you're registered. So if anyone has that question, stay behind. If you don't have that question, then I'll see you on Wednesday at Mac level 2.
Thank you.
Diane, sometimes when you save something and it goes to the clipboard, how do you find the clipboard?
The clipboard is not a findable place. Hi, and you don't save
Thank
things to
you.
the clipboard. You copy something and it stays in the clipboard until you paste it. But the moment you copy something else, it disappears from the clipboard. So it's a very temporary place.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? It's
Yes.
not a place.
It rains and I can watch all 9 hours of
Okay.
I'm trying my hardest.
Oh, that's fine. Are you still working or that's like what you used to do? Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
And let me just close it up.
Oh, I'm
See you
still.
guys on Wednesday in our new class.